much. But to the bad namusia, you bet too much. Your time be guy. Slow down, guy. Your time be guy. Slow down, guy. All the banana men looking at your yanch. All the banana men looking at your yanch. So hungry lion, hungry for your yanch. So hungry lion, hungry for your yanch. Me I don't share, me I don't fear, me I don't scare of anyone. So anybody want to bring that drama? Anybody want to bring that drama? A drama do yanch. Tonight is going down. I said. Just brings to the beat. I go by the name of George B. MUP, GB Records. I love it. My people, you let go.
All right, that's Fatu Jabba right there. That's the GOB. Okay, let's try this one. We'll be right back with you.
Master, Benny B, King Gucci, Tamina, Destiny, Fabina. I will do what you say, I will do what you say, I will do what you want, my baby. I will do what you say, I will do what you want, my baby. Because you found La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Cause you found La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. From the day I met you, baby, Marco, you drive me crazy, drive me crazy. You the one I want to be with. Oh yeah, you the one I want to spend my life with. Sexy body, sexy, sexy. Bluffing past chicken blood. Baby, I want you, want you. Baby, I need you, I need you. See the thing what you do it to me, girl. Do it to me. See the thing what you do it to me, you do it to me. You do fine, ho, you do fine, ho, you do sweet, oh. I will do what you say, I will do it. I will do what you want, my baby. Anything you want, my baby. I will do what you say. I will do what you want, my baby. Because you found La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Cause you find La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Let it say I'm crazy, let it talk you. Let it say I lost in my mind. Let it call me Mupu, baby. For your bendy, baby, for your bendy. I do anything. Are you I wanna be with? Are you I wanna be with? I want to spend my life with you. I want to spend sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind, cause you on La Montana. Sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Can't check me now, baby can't check me now. They can't check me now, they can't check me now, they can't check me now. You can't check me now, you can't check me now. Because you found La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Cause you found La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Voice of Sano and the Diaspora with Doc Osaya Porter Esoteric. Let me make sure, my sound is good here. I'm seeing a couple of people, will recognize you shortly. Let me test my sound, and we will get this going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to. Great. My sound is good on my end here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the Voice of Sano in the Diaspora with Doc Osaya Porter Esoteric live from Prospect Park. I'm glad to be with all of you. It's another day. We've been since last week. This is our first show for this week. So as usual, again, we are always happy to be here to interact with our people. So let me recognize the people that are following the show right now. I'm seeing Honorable Boto Jawi is following. Honorable Robert S. Doe is following from Liberia. Mary, we said, how are you? Honorable Chairman of the Board of Directors, Mr. Isa Sabwe, thanks for following. Sine Foley, how are you? Mr. Jackson Wulu, what's up? Jackson said the sound is good. Okay, excellent. All right, so these are the people that I'm seeing following right now. Other people are following, but I'm not seeing your name or your names if you like. So if I don't call your name, it's not on purpose. All right, so again, welcome to the show, the platform where we do our best to share relevant information with you. Amadou, what's up? Bagura, Pakala, what's up? Welcome, Dr. Pakala on board. All right, so this is the platform where we discuss things relative to Sano County and the Sapo community and the diaspora. This is the platform. Again, as usual, if we have important national topic, we also going to go into that. So we're going to be touching on a national topic. But basically, just sometimes to give you a heads up what is this show is all about. So let me give you my agenda things that I'll be talking about today. The first thing here I'll be talking about, of course, we cannot start the show without talking about the COVID-19 that is waging war around the world. So I call that COVID-19 war against humanity. The tips from national from healthcare authorities cannot be overemphasized. All right, that's something I will be talking about. President Francis Myers, welcome aboard. Sam, Roger, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining the show. So also I'll be talking about President Geo focuses on phase 2 of the nursing project instead of focusing on COVID-19 relief or package for the elderly in the U.S. and do back home. Let's see. I think I have an error somewhere here saying for my video on Facebook. Guys, let me know if the video is playing on your side. I'm getting error message from my side here. Let's see for my video on Facebook. Okay, I think it should be good. Thank you. All right, Star, sorry for the break over there. So I'll be talking about, again, let me quickly put that out there for for you. This one I call President Geo focuses on phase two of next quarter instead of focusing on COVID-19 relief package for the elders in the USA and those and the vulnerable people in Liberia. All right, so that's something we're going to be talking about. The next one I call President Dave Cooley temporarily suspends all activities of USAID Iowa chapter. That's something we're going to be talking about. And next, I call COVID-19 compliance in Sierra Leone versus Liberia. And the next thing here that I got for our discussion, this President Weah announced 21-day lockdown to curtail the proliferation of COVID-19. What does the lockdown mean for the ordinary people? All right, that's something we're going to be talking about. The next thing here, which is the last thing I'll be talking about, does prayer work? A look at the attributes of the Christian God. All right, that's something we're going to be looking at for sure. So let me go to the first one here that we're going to be talking about. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, again, we cannot talk about talk about other things, other subjects on the agenda without talking about the virus that is attacking humanity or human beings, if you like. And so, I mean, the virus, from the statistic that I'm looking at, from the local things, is still going on. So I just wanted to urge all of us to continue with the light. Okay, you are right about that. Let me see what I can readjust my stuff here. It's fair. So, thank you, Jackson. Let me see what I can get it a little bit better here for us. All right, hopefully that lighting is better now. Yeah, thank you for that, Jackson. Thank you very much. All right, so like I was saying, we're going to be looking at again. We normally look at the statistics regarding the COVID-19 virus that is going on around the world, and so like right now I'm looking at the statistics from the CDC website. Let me share that with you. The global confirmed cases right now, we got 1,503,900. Okay, 1,503,900 cases confirmed cases now around the world. Okay, and we have total deaths, 89,931. Total recovered. All right, so people that recovered from the virus, we got 340,112. All right, and over here I say U.S. confirmed cases. Okay, U.S. confirmed cases, we got 432,579 in the U.S. 432,579, and then total deaths in the U.S. 14,830. 14,830. Total recovered, 24,213. 24,213. Those are the people that recover. And from what I'm looking at also here, because of the virus, you have 6.6 million Americans sought unemployment benefits last week. 6.6 million people because of the virus, so they profile for unemployment. All right, so this is serious. As you all know, I think the Prime Minister, the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, was tested positive the other day. So UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson moved out of intensive care, remains in a hospital. Okay, he was in the intensive care unit, but now he has been moved to another area in the hospital. He's not in intensive care. So that shows that the Prime Minister is getting better, I think. All right, so these are some of the things that I want to give you. Let me, if you're in Pennsylvania, and also let me give you some statistics from Pennsylvania and see what is going on here. Quickly, let me get to Pennsylvania for you. Let me get to the website there quick. Pennsylvania Department of Health, right at my fingertip. So boom is opening now. Let's see what is going on right now in Pennsylvania, so you can be in the know if you are in Pennsylvania. Let's get to COVID-19. All right, so as of now in Pennsylvania, again, I'm on the Department of Health Pennsylvania website right now. It's a coronavirus or COVID-19. The page was last updated April 9, 2020 at 12 p.m. It was updated, and the numbers, the confirmed cases in Pennsylvania, 18,228. 18,228. Those are the cases reported now in Pennsylvania. Let me see. Let's look at some of the cases per county. Let's look at areas that our people are concentrated. So if you look at the chart here, they got negative cases 87,374, 83,000 or 87,000, sorry, 87,374. That's negative cases, positive 18,228. Deaths reported in Pennsylvania in the whole state, 338, okay? 338 persons died now so far in Pennsylvania, and we don't hope for more. Let's see. County, the cases by county here. Let's look at Adams County. Adams had 38 cases, one person there for Adams County. Allegheny County, 759, or 12 person there for Allegheny, from Allegheny County. Armstrong County, 12 or 20 persons. All right, 20 persons from Armstrong cases. Beaver County, Beaver has 129 cases, 13 person dead. Bedford County, 4 person. Berks County, 616, 8 person dead. Blair County, 6. Bradford County, 15. Bucks County is 871, 23 dead. Butler County is 113, 2 person dead. We got Cambria County, 10 person, 1 person dead. You got Cameron County, also 1. You got Carbon County, 83, 2 dead. Center County, 59, no death. Chester County, 425, 7 dead. Clarion County, 8. Clearfield County, 7. Clinton County, 4. Columbia County, 65, 2 persons there. Crawford County, 13. You got Cumberland County, 88, 2 persons there. Dauphin County, 180, 2 dead. Delaware County, that's my county. That's where I've been locked up in the house. Delaware County, you got 1,222 cases. 1,222 cases, 26 persons dead from my county. Earl County is 2. Erie County, 32. Fayette County, 45, 1 person dead. Forest County, 5. Franklin County, 52. That's Fulton County, 1. Greene County, 21. Huntingdon County, 8. Indiana County, 21. Jefferson County, 1. Jonita County is 23. Lackawanna County, 312. You got 16 persons dead. Lancaster County, 596, 17 dead. Lawrence County, 37, 2 dead. Lebanon County, 187. Leah County, that's 1,466, 13 dead for Leah. Lawson County, 1,241, 12 dead. That's Lycoming County, 17 person. McKean County 1, Mercer County 30%. That's Mifflin County 10. You got Monroe County 716, 19 dead. Montgomery County 1,693, 37% dead. Montour County is 25% with 25 cases. Northington County, we got 949, 20% dead. You got Northumberland County 24, Perry County 15 cases, one dead. Philadelphia County, all right, Philadelphia, get ready for this. It's crazy in Philadelphia County, 5,029%, 86% dead from Philadelphia County. Pike County, 106. All right, sorry guys, it's technology. We got technical glitch over there. So we got Pike County 163, six dead. Porter County 60, that's three. Schuylkill County 149, one dead. Sydney County, Cedar County, that's nine, one dead. Somerset County 7. uh, Sullivan County 1, Susquehanna County 16, one dead, Toyka County 10, Union County 11 cases, Venango County 5, Warren County 1, Washington County 63, Wayne County 49. Then you got Westmoreland 191 dead, Whatcomie County 6, and then York County 253 dead. Okay, so these are the cases from Pennsylvania. I just try to give those the statistics so that you will know where you stand right now in Pennsylvania. Again, the total negative cases in Pennsylvania, we got negative cases 87,374, positive cases 18,228. The deaths here, 338 person have died in Pennsylvania. All right. So we wanted to just share that little information. I don't know what you call that little. It's a bad information. But that is it. I want to take the time, since we are in the media, to keep encouraging our people everywhere around the world, especially in the U.S., where the virus is waging serial war on humanity. Let us continue to follow the tips. Excuse me, guys. All right. So let me. So the tips. Those are the little tips that I wanted to share with you from Pennsylvania. Let's continue to wash our hands. To follow the advice from the healthcare professionals. Make sure if you're going out there to get your gloves on. If you're pumping gas, I mean, a lot of people use the pumps. If you're going into a public place, as a matter of fact, make sure you get your little PPD on equipment so that you can be on the safe side. All right, we are doing our best uh, to stay safe as well. You know, those of us in Pennsylvania, my family and I, we are doing great. Everybody else is doing great here. People that I know. So let's keep our finger crossed. Let's see what are the virus. It will be over pretty soon. We can live like this as human family. We are used to our members are. Please continue to listen to your health care professionals and take their advice. If you don't have to go out there, please stay home. Do what you can do to be on the safe side because especially when you are the breadwinner for your family. Um, when something happens, it takes a toll on the whole family. And so, like all of us, be cautious and do the right thing for ourselves and our family, protect ourselves. Hey, Shiva, what's up? Welcome on board, Mr. Vice President Slevy Roberts. How you doing? All right, so those are just following. Appreciate your presence on the platform. All right, so that's something I just wanted to say about the COVID-19 that is going on around the world. I see what's going on with my device today. I'm seeing all the errors messages coming out to me here. Let's see. Hopefully, my connection is good on my side here. So I don't know why it's giving problem on Facebook. All right. Hopefully, that problem has been solved. All right. So let's go to the next one here, ladies and gentlemen. Next thing that I wanted to talk about here. The next thing that I want to talk about here is the national president of the United Sapota Association here. Okay, so that's our national president, President Jiko Jrio. Sorry guys, I like to drink water. All right, so the next thing I'd like to talk to the national president of our of the Sapota Association in Americas, President Jiko Jrio. If you look at my title, I said President Jrio focuses on phase 2 of next quarter instead of focusing on COVID-19 relief package for the elders in the U.S. and vulnerable people in Liberia. Okay, that's what I said. Why am I saying that? Okay, the title itself explanatory. It's clear. In the middle of this virus, everyone is doing everything possible. If you're a leader, even the president of the United States, President Trump, is having daily press conferences, press conference, if you like, daily press conference, to talk to communicate with the American people, to see what the government is doing and what the people should expect. He gives daily update. If you even get at the state level, the state governors, they're also doing the same. And they are talking to the people. They're finding relief supplies for the people. They're giving health tips, safety tips to the citizens, and all of that. But in our case, the United Sapota Association, our president is putting over next quarter over, let's just say, relief supplies for the members, both in the U.S. and back home. In the U.S., one would have talked about now, the president will be forward. The last time he had a joint meeting with the board of directors, the president, I thought, on the agenda would be a relief package. But instead of that, the president is talking about phase 2. They're asking for phase 2 money for the next quarter in Dwazon district. I think this is not the timing, Mr. President. That project has already been approved. So anytime you can request the money, but let's put first thing first. The survival of the people in San Diego County for whom you are building the next quarter, if they are not safe, completing that building will be a futile effort. It will be money badly spent. And so the first thing we have to think about, Mr. President, in time like this, is to find a way to get a package out there for the people. Let me show you something, for example, what other leaders are doing. Okay, our sister organization here, let you see the Graduate Association, for example, and see what the leader is doing, the campaign he is running. Yes, you can see the stark difference between our leader and the Graduate Association in the Americas. So the effort that President James Yubote is making. Our president will put out 2 sentences out there. He sits back and he relaxes. He will call the teleconference. The plight of the people will be negated from the agenda. So I don't know what exactly our leader prioritizes. I don't know his priority, in terms of, what is important. What is important to the leader? So let me play a video here. I don't have it on my computer, so let me play it from my phone here, so you can see what President James Yubote, for example, is doing for the Grand Jury Association. All right. Let me see. Let me get to my stuff here quick, and I'll open that for you. Come on, play. Stop the procrastination. I want to get to President James Yubote here quickly. So while it's loading, you see, the United Support Association has 6 chapters in the union. Okay, so I thought, but now the president will be, because they have in the Constitution what they call the National Executive Committee, which comprises of all the chapters in the union and the national team. And I thought, but now the president, or the national president, will be, hosting teleconferences with the various leaders. Content not found. Okay, what is going on here? Yeah, I wanted to play this video from President James Yubote, but I don't know what's going on with my device is acting up right now. All right. So I thought by now our president, I'm talking about President G. Kojo. I thought the president would have been I don't know, my device is acting out a little bit here. Give me a second, guys. Let me see what's going on here. Let me get a musical break quickly. I'll be right back.
King Gucci, Tamina, Destiny, Fabina. I wait to what you say, I wait to what you say, I wait to what you want, my baby. I wait to what you say, I wait to what you want, my baby. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. From the day I met you, baby, Marco, you drive me crazy, You the one I want to be with. Oh yeah, you the one I want to spend my life with. Sexy body, sexy, bluffing past chicken blood. Baby, I want you, want you. Baby, I need you. Selecting when you do it to me, girl. Do it to me. Selecting when you do it to me, you do it to me. You too fine, you too fine, you too sweet, oh. I wait to what you say, I wait to what you want, my baby. Anything you want, my baby. I wait to what you say, I wait to what you want, my baby. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Let it say I'm crazy, let it talk you. Let it say I lost in my mind. Let it call me muku, baby. For your bendy, baby, for your bendy. I do anything. Are you I wanna be with? Are you I wanna be with? I want to spend my life with you. I want to spend my life with you. I want you to me children. check me now. Check me now. Baby can't check me now. They 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 can't check me now. Check me now. They can't check me now. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. I need you, see the thing when you do it to me, girl. Do it to me. See the thing when you do it to me, you do it to me. You do fine, oh, you do fine, oh,
Bluetooth
sweet,
ready ignition.
oh, I will do what you say, I will do what you want, my baby. Anything you want, my baby. I will do what you say, I will do what you want, my baby. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Because you found la montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Let it say I'm crazy, let it talk it. Let it say I lost in my mind. Let it come in, baby, for your business, baby, for your business. I do anything. Are you I wanna be with? Are you I wanna be with?
Now,
I want to spend my life with you. I want to spend my life.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the long commercial break over there. Yeah, but I just wanted to see what the president of the Grand Judges Association in America's President James Ibote is doing versus what our national president, President G. Dio, is doing. Okay, so I want to play this video for you. I didn't upload it on my computer, so I will play it from my phone. So you can listen to the effort James Ibote is making, so you can see it you can hear for himself. Okay.
the reason for which we are here, let me let you know. About 2 weeks ago, we decided that Grand Judges Association will have a fundraiser to send money to our people so that they will purchase coronavirus relief supply. We were targeting $2,000. So we got on it. We came on this live video thing. We appealed to you. We started out with a meeting, and people started to collect. We were appealing that we bring like $2,000, so we'll send it to Liberia, to the liaison team, to go to buy things in Monrovia and carry it to Grand Judges. So as of this past Sunday, the total amount we collected from you was $2,973. So what did I do? I just ran it up to $3,000. So altogether, it was $3,000 that was sent to Liberia, to the liaison team. The liaison team in Liberia is composed of Randall Ibote. He's the chairman. The co-chairman is Mr. Joseph Kana, Secretary Marie Johnson, then David Jackley and Alex Zakwe. The team in Monrovia will go ahead, purchase. They are in collaboration with the county health officer. They should tell them what they need. They will purchase these things with the $3,000 that we sent to them. And then they will take the things to Zwedru, and the three district, Kunewo, Chien, Bazan, the health officers, they will all meet. They will distribute these things live on Facebook so that they will take it to the respective districts. Everything will not be kept in Zwedru. So we want to say thank you to everybody who contributed to this effort. So who is the everybody that contributed?
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to play. I'm not playing the whole video, but this is the part that I want us to listen to. See, the president of the Grand Jury Association in the Americas, President James Yubote, is reaching out to the members to make contribution for relief supplies, COVID-19 supplies for the people in Grand Jury County. And so that's the exercise the president has been on. And so he came alive to get update to the members and see how far the campaign has gone. And so I personally like to, before I go any further, to say congratulations to President James Yubote for this effort, for this noble effort. That's the leadership right here. You show in times of crisis, especially in bad times, that's when you see the leader. You know, that's when the leader is supposed to come up and make effort and see how the community can hold together, how you can protect your people. So congratulations, President James Yubote, and continue in that direction. That's something I applaud. That's something I applaud. I want to say congratulations. So, but unlike President James Yubote, who is getting supplies to his people, I want to say congratulations. So, but unlike President James Yubote, so now if you come on the other hand, the United Support Association, the president, the first major meeting he called was for the discussion of convention. A relief package was removed from the agenda. The president met with the board of directors. He didn't put something in place again, or our people back home, they are vulnerable, or our others in the U.S., they are vulnerable. What can we do? You know, this is what I'm proposing. No proposal from the president. So I don't know exactly what sort of leadership we have right now. The president will be sitting on $140 some more $1,000, and our people perish. We're not doing anything. Is that what the president wants to tell me? 147, because that's the last report we got from the financial team. $147,000. In the case of the Grand Jury Association, they don't have money like us. So the president is reaching out to the members. And what I noticed is the Grandians, they are very good at, when it comes to individual contribution that I can give them. When things are happening in the community, they put out information, the guys, everybody will be on point. I mean, I can remember Bobby Tooley the other day, he put out, he started a GoFund account for a gentleman who was not well. And in no time, the people generated, the amount the guy, if he was asking for, they went beyond that amount. So you can see that the people are together. Yeah, but we have an organization, what we call the United Support Association. If you even start a GoFund for somebody in Sando County, nobody cares to contribute. A young man, bright support guy in Greenville, who is the the manager for the Voice of Sando in Greenville, Patrick Bolu, he has been sick. We put out GoFund. Now one person contributed to that GoFund account. Let me take that back. I think I got $100 from Milton Shewe, okay? But that contribution was made before the GoFund account was set up. But Milton is the only person that made contribution to that to me with respect to Patrick plight, But so I will not encourage the president to ask members to make individual contribution because it will take forever. Do we make individual contribution? Yes, but it takes a long time. And in this sort of emergency right now, we need, expeditious fund, immediate fund to send to the people or to the elders here. The president again could organize, call a meeting for the national, for the executive council, okay, which comprises of all the chapter leaders. The president can call a meeting and brainstorm with his leaders. What can we do? This is what I'm proposing. And then you guys can come up. The president will randomly call a few guys around him in Minnesota, and that's it. Go to the board members and no plan. You see? So the president got to step up to the plate. And besides even getting our relief supplies to the people, both the elders in the U.S. and our vulnerable people back home, we hardly see the president. You know, Jane Yibote will come live and make interact with the people. You know, you make update himself. Our president, we don't see him. Yeah, we don't see our president in times in emergency situation where the whole globe is being attacked by a virus. Our president, we don't see him. Not he wrote again two sentences one time, put it out on Facebook, and that's it. He called a national teleconference, wanted to discuss convention, and that was it. We don't see him. If he doesn't want to come on the Voice of Sano, go on your own Facebook page and address the people, or go to the last talk show and address the people. Let the people. But the president is just sitting by. I don't know whether his camera shy or what. What is the case? I do not know exactly what President Gio is up to. I don't know for sure. He speaks nice. He speaks very well. So I don't see why he's shying away from the people. Do what you normally do, Mr. President, is that if you don't want to come to Dax Ayopute's show, do your normal voice recording and share with us so we can share with the people. But Mr. President, the people will stay some of us who have questions that we need to engage you. We did not make you president for you to just sit back, for you to be hiding, you know. We can see you in the middle of global pandemic. We don't see our president around. He doesn't coordinate with the various chapter leaders. No phone call, nothing. The CEO, what can we do? This is a union. You don't have all the ideas, Mr. President. And that's why you have the National Executive Committee, which comprises of all the chapter leaders. And the chapter leaders, they have members. And these members are sharing ideas with their leaders. So when we call the National Executive Meeting, these ideas that the members are sharing with their leaders, they will share with you. And from there, you guys can craft something, you put something together and push it to the board of directors. Because once you already consult with all the presidents in the union, it shouldn't be difficult for the board to approve something. But if you just, nothing like that as a matter of fact going on. And so this is the situation we are faced with. We have a leadership crisis. The United Support Association has a leadership crisis. In the middle of a crisis, we don't see our president. He doesn't talk to us. Since the whole thing started, he put out two sentences, and that's it. He calls a national teleconference, only to discuss about convention. Nothing about our people. Up to now, we are not getting anything from the president. But other community organizations, they are doing stuff for their people. We just listened to President James Yibote. The people generated $2,973. He ran it up to $3,000. And they sent it to distribute it to buy relief supplies for the three districts, electoral districts in Grand Junction County, the Kunabo, the Chien, and the Bazan district. And that's what the president is doing. So what is our president doing? What is President Gio doing? The 6 sections of the Sapo tribe. Does he have any plan, something that will be distributing in the various groups? We have the electoral districts, or if you want, in district number 3, the statutory districts. In electoral district number 3, can the president get a package, and then things can be purchased, and the various local leaders can go and distribute those things among the people? Or we're gonna just sit back and say, okay, we are United Support Association in the mouth, and practically we are not doing anything, especially in time like these. You see, so sometimes from the way the leader behaves, and my energy can just go away. But again, we cannot give up. You know, we cannot give up on the leader. We still have to keep pushing and pushing. And when his constitutionally allotted time expires, then of course we I mean, he should have been replaced pretty soon, but the virus right now, we have to put up with him. But I'm not impressed the way the president is conducting himself in the middle of a virus, in the middle of a global pandemic. He's not interacting with people. He's just sitting back in Minnesota, and that's it. He goes to board meeting, no plan, concrete plan of action, what to do. So, I mean, if you have all these great people around you, I'm quite sure the reason the president is having issues is because apparently he's not talking to the other members on his team. For example, the vice president, I mean, knowledgeable guy, he has a lot of ideas. The vice president could share some ideas with him, but I'm quite sure the president is not even communicating with the man. You know, all the people around him that's supposed to give him ideas, he talks to certain people that are devoid of ideas. And so when they go to the meeting, they do guesswork. You have to have a plan already in place before you go to the board. And so, this is my proposal. This is our people right now. The global community is in fixing the COVID-19 pandemic. And so this is what I'm proposing for us to get some relief supplies for our people. But nothing. The president got to go, leave the board and go brainstorm about it. I understand somebody, I think the suggestion, the last meeting that they had, the suggestion even came from the board of directors. Where is it supposed to come from the president? You know? But again, the two teams, they got to work together. By two teams, I mean the National Executive Committee and the board of directors. The interest of our people should be paramount when they go to meeting. It shouldn't be about phase 2 money of our next quarter. If those people in San County, when they perish, next quarter it's not going to resuscitate people. All right. So the people say prevention is better than cure. So now let's do something to prevent the virus. See, right now, the President George Weah has declared a 21 days lockdown in the country. 21-day lockdown. Our people, some of them don't even have to eat. Okay? They don't even have anything to eat. So those people are gonna sit in their houses for 21 days with nothing. And President Judeo is not coming up with anything. What can we do to assist our people? No plan. We can't afford to buy several bags of rice for our people with $147,000 in our account. We can't afford to do that. All right, so this is our people, until the leadership is changed. We're gonna be at the same point over and doing the same thing with no results, with no good results. Right now, the priority of the president is next quarter, phase 2, so he can complete that, and so that election time you will have something to run on. But this should not be about that. It should be firstly the safety of the people. The first law of Zovawa again is self-preservation. Let's save our people. What can we do? But again, Dak Sayopode is a troublemaker. According to the president, propagandists. So whatever I say, Dak Sayopode is against the president, even though he is not. I'm not seeing the leadership from the president, and that's what I'm talking. Once I see the leadership from the president, hey, when I come on the platform, it will be all about praises to him. But I'm not seeing it as of now. Nothing. I'm not seeing the leadership right now. I'm not. The president is sleeping right now. He's sleeping like Rip Van Winkle in the middle of revolution. President Judeo is sleeping. The globe has been attacked by a virus, and everybody doing something for their people. But our president, we don't know. Okay, now, the various chapters in the Union too, since the national leadership, since the national president is not doing something, all right? Since the national president is not willing to step up to the plate, the very presidents now in the union, you have to start scheming now to see what you can do for your members, especially the elders in each chapter. All right. After all, the Constitution gives you the right to use $500 minimum or maximum. Anything above that, if you want to spend more than $500, then get to the board of directors. But as it is right now, the national president is not willing to step up to the plate. So now the local leaders, now you got to step up to the plate to see what you can do for your members, or if possible, for the people back home. We can't sit down and wait for President Judeo. If you wait for President Judeo and the board of directors and they want to go to that meeting and be arguing all day. And so whatever is in your scope right now, use that authority. $500 from, let's say, for example, from Iowa, $500 from the Minnesota chapter, $500 from Florida, $500 from Minnesota chapter, North Dakota. If you want to say, for example, want to send a package to the people back home, that amount can help. It can do something. While the national administration, the president is procrastinating, the chapter can do something. Or if you don't want to send that whole $500 and say, okay, maybe the $500 we can take $300 or buy $200 worth of stuff for the elders in the state, buy some stuff, water for them, some toilet papers, or paper towels, or what. Right now, I don't know why they still have hand sanitizers installed. You buy a couple of stuff and carry it to the people. I think that's something President Myers now is thinking about. She called an executive meeting the other day and see what she can do to get a package to the members. So I'm quite sure sooner rather than later, the relief package will be out. Because the woman is now waiting for President Judeo to procrastinate, after his forever delay before something can be done. So the lady, we had a meeting. Okay. We had a meeting a couple of days ago, and yes, she said, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot sit back here. We cannot be sitting here in the middle. Let me see what my stuff is saying here. Error. Let's see. All right, so I'm quite sure the members, the other chapter will file suit what President Myers is planning to do. Okay, and that's so once she sets that stage, I'm quite sure the other leaders want to follow. Right, because the national leader does not want to play his role as a leader. And so now the chapter's got to come up. President Myers, again, she just convened an executive meeting the other day and to see what we can do for the elders here, so the woman is thinking. All right. And so she waiting for this coming meeting. She will bring it before the general body to submit her plan to the people, because you see, that's what you do as a leader. You consult. You have your executive meeting, have your ideas, and then you carry it to the people and say, oh, this is what we are thinking, or this is what we have come up to. After discussing, we just want to see what your thoughts are, and that's it. And so the woman is up to something, while President Judeo is still sleeping like Rip Van Winkle. Okay, that's why in the middle of virus, our national president is sleeping. And so now all the presidents in the union, I want you to start doing what President Myers just did. Try to call a teleconference, talk to your executive members, and see what you guys can do to help our people, both in the U.S. and back home. Okay? I mean, for us, the young people, I mean, we can get stuff ourselves. We're good, but let's think about others. Those people, the elders, the old mom, the old pop. Right now they are not driving. Some of them, some can drive, but how many of them can drive? And the virus, they say the older people, especially the people that already have medical issues, and they are vulnerable. So we want to keep our elders at home, and let's do something. Let's get some. I think I saw even the graduate local chapter here, the president, he was also doing something. President Freeman, he was doing something for the members or the elders. We can do the same thing. We can do that. All right, we can do that. All right, so that's something that's President Judeo, the way his leadership style. That's what I wanted to just bring to your attention. I've seen a couple of people following the show. Chris, how you doing? Thanks for following from Monrovia, Liberia. Saying the president for North Dakota chapter. Let me see. Let me look at your comments before I go to the next thing here. All right, so Chris Barr, I think he's the youth president in Liberia, the Sapo Youth. They say following you from Monrovia, Liberia. Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Panto is following. Let me see, Slebby Rabo, the vice president from the North Dakota chapter here. He said, we must stay cautious and not listen to those spreading rumors that Black people are immune to the vivid 19 or COVID-19, trying to say 70% of people who died from the virus in a town in Miami are Blacks. You say stay safe, wear a mask, bandana when you go out. Okay. All right, so that's the president for the vice president for the Iowa chapter, actually. I'll give you a little tips over there. Let's see what else. Another comment training here. Let me look at the comments. The vice president, Florida chapter. She said, I'm watching from Sunshine State. All right, let's see what else. Okay, I don't see further comments here. Jackson said, there is light shining on your face. Okay, that was turned off. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, so these are the comments that I'm following right now. Those are the comments. Let's go to our next thing for tonight, what we have to talk about. Let me take you to the next thing on my talking points here. Thanks for following the show. Share with your friends, please. All right, so that's the. Let's bring President Dave Cooley on here. Okay, so that's President Dave Cooley of Iowa. He's the chapter leader for the USAA. Okay, so in there was a statement published by the secretary of that chapter the other day, Mr. Cleon, and so I want to share that statement with us. So President Dave Cooley temporarily suspends all activities of USA Iowa chapter. Okay. All right, so that's something that I want to look at. So there's a statement. Let me share with the statement with you. I think it was the secretary Tia Cleon wrote that and published that. I saw it on Yetuzan. And so let me share the statement with you. It says here, in response to state officials' mandated containment effort in Iowa, the president, Honorable Dave Cooley, temporarily closed down all activities of the United Sapota Association Iowa chapter until further notice, further order, if you like. Honorable Cooley made a brief stop yesterday at the association headquarters in Altoona, Iowa, to express his deepest concerns on the prevailing situation in our community, as well the country USAA COVID-19. The president told his officials and members to exercise patience until a new update from the state of Iowa to presume operation, and also warned them in keeping with the safety rules in fighting the virus. Okay, so that's the statement from the secretary, putting out a statement from the president over there, President Dave Cooley, suspending all activities temporarily. Okay, so I read that statement again. In response to state officials' mandated containment effort in Iowa, the president, Honorable Dave Cooley, temporarily closed down all activities of the United Sapota Association Iowa chapter until further order. Honorable Dave Cooley made a brief stop yesterday at the association headquarters in Altoona, Iowa, to express his deepest concerns on the prevailing situation in our community, as well as the country USA COVID-19. The president told his officers and members to exercise patience until a new update from the state of Iowa to resume operation, and also warned them in keeping with the safety rules in fighting the virus. All right, so that's the statement from the office of the secretary for that chapter, Tia Cleon. There's a temporary shut down or close all activities by the president over there. Okay, now, I think the president, I don't know what exactly what he was thinking when he shut down all activities in a chapter temporarily. Okay, it's not forever, it's not indefinitely, it's temporarily. Okay, but I trying to see when you say you're shutting down all activities of that chapter. I mean, I don't know. It's like right now the U.S. is engulfed with the virus. Okay, and then President Trump would come and say, you know what? I'm suspending all activities of the United States government. I mean, you are the government. You need to find a way to find solution to whatever is going on. But if you say, you know what, we suspend all activities, we're not doing anything, we're just sitting down. And so President Dave Cooley is the head of that chapter. He's the president. And I'm not saying President Dave Cooley should, I don't say you should go in a lab or should get a laboratory team to fight, to come up with vaccine. It's possible they can do that too. They are smart people. It's possible they can come up with something. But you cannot shut down the activities of the chapter in totality. Yeah, even though even all these states, I mean, we have all these emergency orders and shut down from various governors. But I just gave you an example of the Grand Jury Association. We have the same shut down in Pennsylvania. All right. But the members are not, the president will not say, you know what, I'm closing down all activity of the Grand Jury Association until the Governor Wolf comes on and say, no, the quarantine or whatever is going on is over. You know, and so I expected President Dave Cooley, who I believe is a good thinker, but I think they shutting down all activities because the state of Iowa, you know, they put out containment a warning, and so you shut out. I mean, I'm not saying you should organize physical meetings, for example. No, you can still do telemeetings. Okay, you can call meetings. You guys can brainstorm ideas. But you cannot just shut down all the activities of that chapter temporarily because the government came out with containment warning or order, if you like. And so I when I read the piece, the announcement from President Dave Cooley, I just thought it was a fundamental mistake. As a leader, you cannot shut down everything. No, this is time for President Cooley to see he can discuss with his executive, like President Myers is doing, the brainstorm ideas. What can we do to help the elders, for example? You know, what can we do? We are not many in the state. What can we do? As a matter of fact, for all the members here, based on what we have in our account, we can't spend more than $500. But can we use $500 and get some supplies? But the president said, you know what? Let's shut down everything temporarily. And I don't think that's a good way to go. It's not a good leadership. You can't shut down everything. All right. China, when the virus started in China, they didn't shut down the government. They didn't shut all operation down. The government was still working. And so when you are leader of a chapter of the union, okay, so let's assume President Gio closes, not Gio, but Dave Cooley, he just suspended all activities in Iowa. Excuse me. And President Maya does the same thing. President Kolo does the same thing. President Nyamle does the same thing. President Samson Brown does the same thing. President Casey Wiley does the same thing. President Gio say, you know what, let's shut down everything. What will happen to the union? And so, Mr. President, you cannot be a leader in good times. You cannot only be a leader in good times. You got to be a leader also in bad times. And in bad times, that's when you stand or you show leadership. You can shut down everything because the state putting out a containment warning, and so you shut down all the activities of the chapter. You are not going to do anything. You just sit by and watch it show. But you are a leader. What makes you a leader, sir? By just sitting down? You see, so I think we are all not fallible. We are not perfect people. You know, we make mistakes. And so I think that was a mistake on the part of President Dave Cooley of Iowa, he should not have shut down all the activities of the chapter. He can shut down some activities, like meetings, physical meetings, you can shut down. That's good, that will make sense, but he cannot shut down all activities, and that's my issue with that edict from the president. All right, so Mr. Secretary, Minnesota chapter, Godwin Chinton, welcome aboard. Mr. Panto, James Panto, welcome aboard. I think I recognize Christopher already, and the chairman, honorable chairman, I recognized you earlier, I think. All right, so now let's get to the next thing that I want to talk about here for our discussion tonight. And so that's the issue of President Dave Cooley right there. Iowa right now, all activities are being shut down by the president. Okay, temporarily. All right, so let's get to something else that I want to talk about tonight for our discussion. So the next thing here, I have the COVID-19 compliance in Sierra Leone versus Liberia. And let's see what is going on in those two countries, okay? Let's see. Let me bring President Cooley down here. So, it's important if you have a government for the citizens to listen to you. But in the case of Liberia, for whatever reason, the people are not listening to the leaders. And I think that's a serious problem. That's a serious problem. Sierra Leone got a 3 days shutdown in the country. And I will play the video from the president so you can listen to the Sierra Leone president, what he is saying about the citizens of his country. Compared to Liberia, where the health department, even the president, they talk about you can no large gatherings, and stuff like that. There was the order put out, but the people are defying, especially the religious ones. The religious people in Liberia are the strange ones in the country. They defy the government, order, and still going and congregating. Whereas other countries, people that brought Christianity to Liberia, they are listening to their leaders, But in Liberia, so let's watch, for example, the president of Sierra Leone, for example, Malam Bio, and see what he's saying about the people of Sierra Leone, what he's saying about the citizen, okay?
Today is the first day of the 3-day lockdown for this country. Like all other countries around the world, we say make we observe 3 days so that we will able to obstruct the transmission of this coronavirus. I just go around the town, Freetown. I go as far as Lompa for see how we they comply. I feel proud of my country once more because as you say, we really comply. From here, Freetown, till go reach Lompa, it like say nobody not in Africa. I tell we plenty thank you for this kind of level of compliance. We get small problem then. I see small picking the whole rubber than the cross for go get water. They are see say some people then come and walk, especially the policeman them and the nurse them, they not get motorcar and then the worker. They want the own a small problem who will take care of. But I want to use this occasion for say congratulations, Radio. We don't show say we are a law-abiding people and that together we will work to make sure say this particular virus come on here, like how we've been driven the Ebola virus. I want to tell you plenty thank you, and I want to make you continue for washing your hand, stay away from people as much as you can, because I know say plenty compound crowded, but anything where we observe anybody where is sick, now for call 117 quickly. Make them care them and then they go and observe the information. Say if now that sickness they we will know how to take care of her. But for now, I just want to say a glady for say salon with the abide by the law and are proud for being Israeli and for being a leader of Israel today. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the president of Sierra Leone, Julius Maada congratulating the citizens of his country for obeying the 3 days for complying, because they had 3 days shutdown or lockdown, if you want, and the people complied. But if you compare just 3 days lockdown in Sierra Leone, right, and the president is so elated, he's happy to come and tell the people, thank you for what they did, even though you recognize it's a little glitches here and there, but they are not significant. But let's see the Sierra Leonean message, right? You don't listen to the leader praising the citizens for complying with the law, okay? They are law-abiding citizens. That's what the leader was saying about the citizens. Now, do I expect him to say something negative? No. But if he is honest, if people are not abiding by what the orders that the injunction that the government puts in place, I don't think he will come out to say this. But the people complied. And so now let's compare this with Liberia and see what Liberian people are doing. All right. Even though the government say no gatherings, no large gathering, all clubs are closed and all those things, they put all the guidelines out there for people. But that was Sierra Leone. Let me play the Sierra Leone president one more time, and then I will play the video from Liberia for you and see what is going on in Liberia versus Sierra Leone.
First day of the 3-day lockdown for this country. Like all other countries around the world, we say make we observe 3 days so that we will able to obstruct the transmission of this coronavirus. I just go around the town, Freetown. I go as far as Lomba for see how we they comply. I feel proud of my country once more because as he say, we really do comply. From here, Freetown, till go reach Lomba, it like say nobody not in a Freetown. And they tell we plenty thank you for this kind of level of compliance. We get small problem then. I see small picking the whole rubber then the cross for go get water. They are see say some people then come on walk, especially the policeman them and the nurse them, they not get motorcar and then the worker. They want the own a small problem who will take care of. But I want to use this occasion for say, congratulations radio. We don't show say we are a law-abiding people and that together we will work to make sure say this particular virus come on here, like how we've been drive the Ebola virus. I want to tell you plenty thank you and I want to make you continue for washing your hand. Stay away from people as much as you can because I know say plenty compound crowded, but anything where we observe anybody where is sick, now for call 117 quickly. Make them care them and then they go and observe them for make sure say if not that sickness we go know how to take care of them. But for now, I just want to say a glady for say salon with the abide by the law and are proud for being Israeli and for being a leader of Israel today. Thank you.
All right, so that's President Mambido. Now let's go to Liberia and see what Liberian people are doing as opposed to what we just listened to. Let's listen to Liberian people.
Citizens Assembly, aka Holiness Church, they are in direct violation. All of the benches have been thrown out and destroyed, and the resistant ones are being arrested and taken away. This is members of the All Saints Assembly, aka
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Liberia for you. I just playing that video and I'm comparing the way the citizens of Sierra Leone, they're complying with government orders as opposed to Liberia. You know, in Liberia, we have the people they are rebelling against government orders, especially the religious people. All right, the religious ones, the people that are supposed to advise the non-religious ones, are the ones that are going and defying authority. You know, they're still going in church to pray. See, it just baffles me when I see the first so-called African independent country behaving in this. The citizens are behaving in this way. The country, but you know, they say Liberia, which come from the word labor, which means liberty or freedom. So the people are exercising their freedom, even in the middle of virus. They don't care to listen to the government. But you see, if you live like that, if you want to use the word freedom without restriction, there is chaos. You know, because of freedom without laws is nothing but survival of the fittest and the dying of the least suitable. You know, so if the government puts stuff in place, the people, they don't. I mean, it's just strange. The Sierra Leone president, he's praising the citizens. I wish President Weah would have come out and said, oh, you know what, the Liberian people are listening and they are buying the orders. But what we are seeing on through social media is not encouraging from the country. Okay, these very religious people, when they are sick, they don't carry the person to the pastor for prayer. They will take those that gather in the church when they are sick. They will take them to a doctor, you know. But then they would take this whole religious stuff and their Christianity and put it on their head and carry it all over the place. They are not listening to their healthcare authorities in the country. They are defying police. They are fighting police officers. They are arguing with police officers. because of Christianity. The people that even brought the Christian God, the Bible to you, the people are not gathering in church right now. They are staying away. They are listening to the health authorities. They are listening to the government. But in Liberia, you say, you know what? Now we the one born Jesus. Jesus is our son. And so anybody who tells us not to gather in Jesus' house, we will not listen to you. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that our people will be thinking like this. They will not listen to the authority. They will just do their own thing. They're fighting police officers. You know, you still go in the church, even though they say no gathering in the street, social distance, and all those things are put in place, talking about hand washing, don't get close to other people. Hey, Liberian people say, you know what, we don't care. We love our Jesus. You know, Jesus cares for us. But when they go home when they're hungry, some of them that get family back home, they call, in the US or overseas, those are the people they call. They don't call Jesus to provide food for them. If they want to send their children to school, they don't call Jesus to provide. They will call their family or themselves. They got to go sweat. They got to go sell or whatever they have to do to get that money to take care of the child. Jesus will not bring anything for you. Praying in the church will not get coronavirus away. It's medicine. It's the tips that the healthcare professionals are giving you. Those are the things when you follow Ebola, they not go away by prayer. Okay? It wasn't prayer, a Christian prayer or Muslim prayer or whoever prayer that eradicated Ebola. It was healthcare measures that took care that got rid of Ebola. But our people are just strange set of people. They take their religious thing and they're going with it everywhere. They will not listen to the authorities. It's sad. It's very sad. Okay, so that's it. I'm downhearted when I see my country not following what the authorities are saying. And other countries are doing it. Even though those same countries, they are Christians, the Christians in other countries, they are listening to the government. But in our country, you know what? We don't care. Jesus is above everything else. Our imaginary man is better than anybody else, you know. We're not listening to you. But then when something goes wrong, they blame the president. They blame the authority, you know. They don't ask Jesus. They don't go ask the God when their children don't get food. They will say, oh, the government is not creating jobs for us. The government is not doing this. But then when the government is telling you to be safe, this is what you should do, we're not listening to you. We're listening to Jesus. You know, we have a long way to go. And I think, especially those in the West that are going back home right now, we have to start to educate our people again. So the exercise we have to start is to de-religionize them, we have to take the religiosity from their mind. All right, because they have imbibed the Christian the Bible to the point where their own survival is not important anymore, and that is bad. The people that brought the Bible to you, they don't even use the Bible like the way you are using the Bible. The Caucasian, the white man brought the Bible to you, gave it to you. You know what? The Bible, you know what they're doing it? The Bible is a pacifier. You know that what they give it to you is a pacifier. You know what a pacifier does when a baby is crying? You give the baby the pacifier. Nothing, no juice, nothing in that pacifier. But the baby is sucking on that, and they're sucking their own let's just say, spit. You know, and as a result, the baby will be quiet. And they will not pay attention. They will start bawling, mommy and daddy, and the more will cry. And so the Bible is nothing but a pacifier. Pacifier in the sense that so the black people cannot think. All right. While you are focusing on the Bible, they gave you the Bible, and you are focusing on it. The people, they are going to space. They are in the laboratory and inventing stuff. You know, right now, the kill of the COVID-19. It's not going to come from the Bible. It is not coming from the religious people. The same people that gave you the Bible, they are in the laboratory right now. The scientists, they are working. They are doing experiment to come up with vaccine. Okay, it's not religion. So you can pray to your God all day, and the same non-religious man, the man who does not use religious method, will come bring medicine to you. You that got God. You see? So it's just like, when are we going to realize that this prayer doesn't work? prayer is nothing but talking to yourself. If you are praying alone, you are doing nothing but praying to yourself. If you are in a large crowd, if you are praying or in a church, right? Nothing you are doing but making noise to each other. Okay, that's all you are doing in that church. You are just talking to each other ear and making noise. Prayer is not, it does nothing, it doesn't work. But people don't get it. You can pray for now to whatever day to grow wings, you will not grow wings. Okay, prayer, and then it will say, oh, Jesus said in John 14:13, Jesus said, when you pray, you are anything my knee, I will do it. I guarantee you, go pray to Jesus and say you will fly. You can't fly. Or pray to Jesus that you let us say tomorrow you will come to the US, for example, because that's what Liberian people do. They pray to come to America, even though they say they get God, who is all powerful, who can do other things for them. But they're praying all day to come to the US. They are praying to come to the white man world, but they say they got Jesus. So the Bible is a pacifier. They give it to you so you can not think for yourself. And while you are playing, you are sucking on the Bible, they are doing something different. Okay? It's a pacifier for our people, but our people don't get it. And we're bringing, I mean, people don't like, oh, don't be talking about religion. But religion is harming our people. This Christianity is harming our people. The Quran is harming our people. How many person you are seeing got a Nobel Prize for prayer? Nobody. Because they don't count those things. But they count, if you want to get Nobel Prize, for example, for medicine, when you discover something, for physics, for chemistry, for economics, for writing, you get Nobel Prize, not for prayer. You can pray all day, nobody will give you Nobel Prize. Because prayer doesn't work. Nobody wasting their time on prayer. They're talking about things that will make an impact in the lives of people. It's not prayer. You give yourself false hope. You pray to something that you do not see. You pray to it. You don't know whether that thing is bad, whether it's good. Even if you read what they put in the teen book, in the book of God, in the Bible, the God in the Bible killed more people than the Satan, who they say is a bad man. But they pray to the team all the time. Like, you serious? The people say this. Like you go for a job application, and the person brought the resume, they open it. The man is a serial killer. He killed bunch of people. And you're not looking for killer. You are looking for people that will do your job, maybe a computer engineer, and the person brought a resume, how many they know what people they kill. If you look at the resume of the God in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, they may have killed a bunch of people. Satan only killed 10 people in the Bible, if you read your Bible closely. And the 10 people that are in the book of Job, the Job children. And it was God who even instructed Job or Satan to do that, to kill his children and put all to and after Job went through all the torture, God gave the children back to him. Everything else he lost. I said, you serious? Can you replace 10 children? So when somebody killed 10 children and 10 children came back, that the children replaced it, can you replace human being? So they can be talking like replacing human being is like replacing your toy. Human being is not a toy. You kill, let's just say Hitler killed 6 million, or let's just say 11 million to put all together. The 5 million non-Jew and the 6 million Jew. So if you have 6 million human beings coming back, does that mean that the 9 million, the 6 million people that were killed should be forgotten? No, it doesn't erase that. So if God killed Job children, 10 children, and then turn around later and then gave him additional 10, I don't know how he gave it to them. They didn't explain that to her in the book of Job. The God gave the children, because let's assume some of them they were doctors already. All right, some of them they were engineers, okay? And then God told Satan to kill them. So the new guys they brought, they came back, they came back as engineers, or they came back as babies. Job and his wife, they had to go babysit all night again to raise the children. That what God did. I'm quite sure, because that's the only way you can get him up again. God did not just send him up and say, you know what, oh, Job, these are your 10 children I killed. No, they are all doctors again. It's not the case. So the children, Job wasted his time, not raised the children, send them to school. They educated, they got their own family. And then God and Satan, they were playing gamble, divine gamble. He said, you know what? God, Satan went to God and say, you know what? Job, that Job man you talking about, he say, you faithful man. When you take all 18 away, he will curse you. So it was just a gamble the people are playing, divine gamble playing, or it's a wager. And people got to understand what people don't understand. Satan is not a bad character to God. Satan in the Bible is not against God. People don't understand that. All right? Satan is not an enemy of God in the Bible. Satan is what they call the adversary for God. Adversary in this sense, meaning that he's the, if you like, the prosecutor for God. So God would say, oh, the other person, I'm a mean man, that the man trusts me. Then Satan will be the one that will do the test, that will do the assessment for God and say, that person you're saying is for you is not actually for you. It's because of what you're doing for him. So Satan is the one that does the analysis, that will, again, the prosecutor for God. He's the one does that. He's not an enemy to God. If you read it in the book of Job, why God will be sitting there and then Satan here and Satan will just start having conversation. Satan and God, they are not friends. And so why they will be having conversation and say, oh, you know my servant Job, he's so faithful. No. They are not. If you say they are enemies, they wouldn't be having conversation. Okay, so these things, people don't know these things. Satan is not an enemy to God in the Bible. All right? He's an agent of God. He's working for God. He's not working against God. Okay? But people don't get these things. They will say, oh, Satan is an enemy of God. No, he's not. He's an agent that God sends around to do stuff. But again, it's a story. This is a story. It's not a real thing here. It's a story. All right, this is a story, but people take this story to be literal. Okay, this is a symbolic story that the people put together. I mean, you have to understand metaphor and you have to understand the allegory. These things, they are literary devices, you know. So I gave you, like you say, a figure of speech, for example, and say it is raining cats and dogs outside. I mean, if you go, I'm not saying cat and dogs are falling from the sky, all right? So it's raining heavily. So some of these metaphors, some of these things in the Bible, they are metaphors, you know, they are figure of speech, basically, you know. It's a literary device, but people don't understand some of these things and they take them literally, you know. Some of them, they just teach a message to you. It doesn't mean this thing really, really happened, all right? So, but this is the situation we have in Liberia. People, they worship the Christian God, the Bible, as though nothing else is. I mean, they're not listening to anybody else. They're not listening to the authority. They will listen to their Bible. They will listen to their God. All right? Okay, if you have these things that cares for you, all right? If you have God, he says, I mean, we'll do some. I think I have another bullet point where we'll go detail in that a little bit. We'll discuss the attributes of the Christian God, and we'll see what they can hold together, those attributes that people put together. All right, because they are not, if you put these things together and those things, because the reason you put on things together is for certain result to come up. So if you say Madison is all powerful and Madison is not doing all powerful things, then you are just using words. Okay, and that's why it is. You are just playing with words, but you say all powerful and you are not getting all powerful results. If something happens to you, you go to a human being to help you out. But then you get something that you say it is all powerful. All right. And so let Liberian people, those pastors, some of them will go to a theological seminary. Then from there they turn around, they will go do, especially those in the West. Yeah. They will turn around and start going to a nursing school, you know. They'll go somewhere where they will get a job. I mean, you said God can give you anything. When you pray to him, anything you want him to do it. But you have to go to school for years to go learn for it before you can get the knowledge. But you have an agent that you pray to that can just, only if prayer works, then you should not be wasting your time in school in the first place. Just pray to your God, and your God will send everything that you want. But they will start praying all day. Especially those back home, they will sit down somewhere under the lights, so no light, or they will use candle just so they can get education. But they say they believe God loves them, God can give them anything they want. But then they are praying all night, they are at the same time reading and all of that. You see, so this religious thing here, people gotta start rethinking it. Religion is not helping Africa. See, if you compare countries that are zealous in the issue of in the worship of God, and you look at the countries that are practically atheistic, I don't believe in God, and look at the lifestyle or lifestyle of the people in the countries, and look at the lifestyle of people, say for example, in my country, Liberia. Liberia, the people are God intoxicated, but look at their living condition. And go example and go in Europe and look at the lifestyle of the people there. It's totally different. The people don't believe in God anymore. The people that brought the Bible to you, they are not following whatever is in the Bible. But Liberian people will pray to God. They will defy police because of Jesus, because of the Bible. You have our ancestors. They have their beliefs. Before the people brought their Bible to you, and they went because of cultural inferiority, they feel they know better than you. They went and eradicated our people culture, and they brought their culture to you, and you took it. It's that not religion. That Bible is nothing but Jewish people culture. That's what they're telling you in a story. If you do war religion, you see all the various war religions. You know, Christianity is a war religion. And so you give another man's view, you take another man's view, you throw your own view away. And another man's view, you have taken it to the point to be literate. To be literate, the people wrote their story in the Bible. And that's why you go away. You know, you have to understand, if you follow the story of the Jews, because the Bible is about the Jews. It's not for people from Liberia. It's not for people from Africa, anywhere in Africa. It's for the Jewish people. And so the people, they were suppressed, okay? They were suppressed people. And so if you follow what they do, they will say, because if you are a slave, you have no power, right? If you have no power, what you have to do is to create your own narrative. You create your own story. You say, you know what, this war is a bad war. You know, after the war, the next war is best for me. You know, because the person has no chance here or survival here. The people are suppressing you. So if you read the Christian history, what they call the Christian morality, so if you read, they will be talking about meekness, be humble, turn the other cheek. When somebody slap you, you turn the other cheek. That's slave morality, okay? Because the slave has no power. So they say when the master slaps you, you turn it, because if you fight back, they kill you. And so the slave has no hope. So the only thing they do is be humble when they slap. But the bourgeois will not say that. Let's say the aristocrat will not say that. The aristocrat will say, if somebody punches you, punch the person back. All right, but the slave has no power. So the slave will say, when they be humble. Humble in Christianity, when you look at the history of Christianity, humbleness is not a good thing. It was a way for the people to survive because they were being suppressed at the time. But this thing, they come over time that the slave. So if you read, for example, Friedrich Nietzsche genealogy of moral, you will have, because the word genealogy is the history of how some of those moral principles that came about. Let's read these things and see what these people some of them are brought in books to all that we carrying around. What the people are saying about the text that you are carrying around, you don't understand it historically, you don't understand the anthropological background of it, the sociological background of the book, but we just run with them. You see, but the people are successful. The competition is a competition of the mind, the competition of ideas. So the people don't want you to compete with them. So they give you a book. While you are sucking on the book like a pacifier, they are inventing. They want to be ahead of you. It's a mind game going on, but our people don't get it. They don't get it. And that's why I feel pity. Every Sunday, I'm glad that we have, it's not a thing to be happy about, but the COVID-19, they got some sample churches here. Our people that went to school, they will come and gather our people and they preach the same thing to the people. Instead of helping our people to liberate their minds, they would drill them with the same thing. They're serious? Are we going to destroy every generation after generation. That's what we're going to do. Give the people philosophy, a religion to us and drill it in our mind. Because religion means read. Because you got to look at the word, the prefix read. Read means again. So you are giving somebody, you are attaching yourself to somebody thought. Read. Okay. So religion. So you are giving, you are tying yourself to the thinking of another man. And so these Jewish people, they put their books together, and African people now, we are sucking out, especially Liberian people. We're not in the middle of virus. They say, we're not listening to you. We're going to our Jesus. You see? And so that it's a serious problem. And we have to start the campaign, especially those of us in the West. When we go back, we let us not perpetuate this bad philosophy in the Bible. The Bible is not a good test. You got to read it. People will read it and cherry pick. They will take one and they will jump over the other one. Once it is not good, they will jump over that portion of it. The good one, they will run with it. And that's not how you do it objectively. If you want to read a book, read it objectively and teach it to the people. The flaws in the Bible started from the book of Genesis in the first place. The God made a book, he made a tree, and you say, oh, the tree has knowledge, but don't eat it. You see, so it's the same slave mentality or philosophy that was preached in the book, but people don't understand this. Somebody put knowledge in the tree and they say, you know what, do not eat the tree. And they have two people, they are not children, they are adults. Two adults walking around butt naked. Because this is the Garden of Eden, basically, you can consider it to be a divine script club, you know, where the two adults, they butt naked and God washing them. It's okay to go for these people to be butt naked, they don't know anything. All right, and they're just walking around. It was okay. And so that's what you do if you deprive somebody of knowledge and then you terrify the person. So what God did was, he said, don't eat a tree that has knowledge in it. And you will terrify the people. And that's what you are doing in the garden. Until another character, what is called the serpent, because no Satan in the book of Genesis. Satan did not appear nowhere in the book of Genesis, okay? So people will say, oh, it was Satan that talking snake. That's not true. This is a story. Okay, so you have fictional story and non-fictional story. The book of Genesis is a fictional account. It's not non-fiction, it's not a real story. It's a fictional account. Okay, so the people gave you the characters in that story. They got the human beings, the man Adam and Eve and his wife, and they got the other one called God, who you don't see, okay, but he sees the people, the butt naked people, they're walking around. And then another character they call Satan or the serpent. No Satan in the book of Genesis, okay? So the brass serpent. And they say the serpent or talk to woman. You see, so it's another element. There are a lot of things in that book that people don't understand. The Bible is not pro-females. It's against male. It's a misogynistic book. It hates female. So if you look at some, maybe Paul will say women should be quiet in church. They shouldn't talk. Women are not allowed to be pastors. They are not allowed to preach. You know, they talk down to female. So it's those things started from the book of Genesis. Okay, the book of Genesis, the woman, what they didn't say snake fool man, right? But it says snake fool female because the idea was woman is not intelligent, and that's why the guys are selling in our book. And women are very intelligent people. But the guys at the time, they were misogynistic. You have a patriarchal society where men, they control everything. So they talk down to females. If you read that the Old Testament, you will see how they treat females. A woman will get raped, and if you get raped, they say, you will stay with that man who raped you. What kind of torture is that? You know, but these are the things that are in the book. These are the things that are in the book. But people, this is a good book. You know, and it says snake talk. Snake. I don't know where you see snake talking before. So this is a cartoon. They were the same way we have our children. You know, they're showed. You got a dog talking. You got all these different characters. It was the same thing. The people back in the days that wrote about that, the same thing they were doing. It was nothing but cartoon going on. And so they say, "Oh, snake fool a woman," just to talk down to woman. They don't say snake fool a man. Because it's all about men. It's a patriarchal society. You know, everything is about man. Man should be superior to woman, and so they put woman down. Okay, that's what you find. So now let me get to other things here. I just going on a little tangent here with respect to how our people, they don't understand the Bible and they just use it, and they are not listening to authority. They're not using their own mind. There's something they call common sense. Use your common sense. Okay, you got to use your common sense. Religion is not helping anybody in a country, or else Liberia would have been one of the developed countries in the world, because they pray 24/7, they do everything 24/7. Everything is God, God, Jesus, Jesus. Okay, but the life expectancy is like less than 50. You know, people that are not living long in the country. You have something that loves you, God that loves you, and you live in less than 60 years, and you say you have this thing that loves you. Anyway, so now let me get to the next thing here. Let me get to the next thing here that I want to talk about, and then we'll go into a little bit of religious lecture here. We'll look at, so let's look at President Weah state, let's say lockdown. Let's look at President Weah lockdown. The speech was given, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, if I'm not making a mistake here. So the President Weah announced 21-day lockdown in the country to curtail the proliferation of COVID-19. So I was asking, what does it mean for the ordinary people? What does it mean? If you see, before President Trump announced, when you're doing the announcement, okay, during the state of emergency, right, for the COVID-19, there's something he did during his speech. He said a couple of things, okay. Number one, he highlighted that no hoarding, okay, hoarding. I mean, people cannot buy a bunch of stuff and just stack them and stack them up. Okay, so he spoke against hoarding, okay, and then he also spoke against price hike or hiking prices of things, you know, and other things, other measures, you know. So if you take a mask, for example, and you buy, because there are people that get money and other people that don't get money. So if you have this sort of emergency, people will start buying things and stacking them up. To avoid that, the president brought his Attorney General and stuff like that. Anybody who engages into hoarding, you know, they will arrest you and all of that. You see, but President Weah declared 21 days lockdown in the country. I show you Malam Bio did just 3 days lockdown. But our president is doing 21 days in the country, where you have at least 80% of the people, they barely have it to eat it. 21 days. And there are a lot of flaws in the speech that, I mean, I'm not going to point out all the things right now, a lot of things in it, and that I saw, you know, when I was listening to it. As a matter of fact, I saw someone, I think the text was published and all of that too. But while I listened to it, a lot of things, mistakes were in that speech. But the major thing I'm trying to focus on is it has to do with what would be done when the people are sitting in their houses. What exactly would the government be doing when the whole country is shut down for 21 days? What measure the government will be putting in place when the people are home? Are they going to spray the whole place? Or, I mean, what are they going to be doing? Some experiment or something that for 21 days, people should stay out of the street. Only 1 hour maximum, you should be out, you know, and stuff like that. So I was thinking, what special thing they want to do? What is it that they want to do in the country? And besides that, how do you expect family to people to feed themselves? President Trump announced the state of emergency, and the people are printing checks now and sending out checks to the citizens. So you tell the people to stay home, okay? But there was no there was no relief package for them. So you expect the people to sit home for 21 days. George Weah and the guys and the government officials, they can get food and stack it up in the house. But how are the old man, or the young boy, the young girl who doesn't have a job, you know? So now they have to go sell their water. They have to go maybe sell the firewood, whatever they got to do to survive. You want to tell the elders in the village that have to go on there to do their farming and stuff, they should stay home for 21 days, or they go out for 1 hour, they come home. I mean, how you? I try to make sense of what the president 21 days in a poor country, and he said people should stay home. In America, when they say 21 days, it makes sense because a lot of people economically they are better. But in a poor country, how can you implement in 21 days and you have the virus? As a matter of fact, you better have like 30 cases in the country, but you're shutting down the whole country. So I was trying to understand the point of the whole shutdown. I was trying to understand the whole thing, but I still can't wrap my head around it. Okay, that's it. So let's see what's going to happen. So what are they? And then the president in his speech and say, "Oh, the lawmaker will have to convene so that they can give the authority, because they had to approve why the executive order, the shutdown, and all of that." Okay, so I don't know. You have to first get the approval of the lawmakers before you even make such an announcement. But it was the other way around, So I don't know. Yeah, that's so that's a shutdown for the country, and that's why when I started, I was talking about President Gio. What is he doing? 21 days, how people will be indoors, and I don't know. It's crazy. All right, so now let me talk about the last one that I wanted to talk about here. Let me talk about this here. This one I will still, to close, we'll talk about what does prayer work? Okay, that's a question we're going to be asked. We're going to be tackling. Does prayer work? A look at the attributes of the Christian God. Okay, so we want to look at the prayer. We'll look at prayer and see what a prayer works, and we're going to look at the attributes of the Christian God. Okay. When a question tells you, when they say that God, what exactly they're talking about and what are the attributes? Okay, even though those attributes they are not biblical, they are philosophical. Those are things that those theologians, those that are pro God, to support their beliefs, because the Bible is not a book to use as an argument to prove the existence of God. So philosophers like Thomas Aquinas, let's just say St. Anselm or Canterbury and other guys, they came out with other arguments, like Pili. Let's just say if you talk about, let's say Thomas Aquinas, for example, he came out with the far wage argument, the far wage argument, everything that moves, that in motion, it has to have a first mover, so you have the first mover. So the unmoved mover, that Thomas Aquinas, one of his arguments, and he's talking about the argument from contingency, every contingent being needs something, a necessary being, So all these very arguments, let's just say Slavi Roberts, for example, is a contingent being. Whether Slavi Roberts exists or not, the war will go on. So talking about contingency and necessary being. So Thomas Aquinas was talking, so he made a faraway argument. He's talking about the on-cause argument. There are things that are cause and there are things that are not, they are on cause, so that thing that is on cause is God, and then you go to what I call the ontological argument. I mean, they got a bunch of them out there. So if you look at St. Thomas, St. Anselm or Canterbury in the 11th century, he propounded an argument, what they call the ontological argument, to prove the existence of God, where he talked about in the ontological argument, you're talking about anything best conceivable, anything that you can conceive. God is, he said, God is then that which nothing greater can be perceived. Anything that is greater, God is the greater thing that you can ever think of. You're making a whole argument. I'm not here to, maybe we'll have another day where we'll go through some of those arguments that those philosophers make to justify the existence of God. That's not the show today. With the Pali teleological argument, other people will call it the design argument. We'll go into some of those arguments, okay? But today I want to look at prayer. Does prayer work? And then I'll be looking at the attributes, of God, the Christian God, okay? I'm not talking about all gods here, so we're talking about all the attribute, the prayer. So the first thing is, does prayer work? Well, I mean, if you're a religious person, you will say, "Oh yeah, it does work." But I mean, sorry to say, but prayer does not work. Okay, if prayer works, then I mean, like let's say hospital, medical, the whole medical profession will go out of business because you once you can pray and things happen, you will not need medical professionals. Okay, all the doctors and nurses and all the people that do those things, and then you will not need them anymore. But because prayer doesn't work, if prayer works, people will not die. Because again, John 14:13 says that Jesus said, if you want anything, just ask me in my name, pray to me in my name, and I will do it. So if prayer works, dead people should not be there because you should just pray and then a person should wake up. But you will pray for a dead person all day, they will not wake up. So it defeats the purpose of prayer. Prayer does not even heal, like you say, sick people. People also sometimes say, "Oh, that prayer healed the other person." They just saying stuff. They will say, "Oh, prayer healed the other person," but if you bring another person who is sick and say pray for that person, it will be another explanation. You cannot pray for an amputated man to get new leg or new arm. Prayer doesn't work. All right. Prayer does not, I mean, you can pray right now and say, "Oh, you want to be the tallest man in the world, to be taller than the 3-story building I'm in right now." You cannot do it. Prayer doesn't work. It's just nothing but talking to yourself and giving yourself false hope. That's what prayer is. And so I wish my people would be practical. They will be much more practical. If your little child got malaria, or not malaria in the US is a big sickness, but let's say a headache, you don't pray for that headache to go away. You will go to the pharmacy next door here. I mean, like my place, right? We'll get pharmacy next here. And you just go get a Tylenol and will alleviate the headache. But if you say you want to leave it to prayer, you will make that child, the condition will get worse. So prayer is nothing but talking to yourself. You cannot pray to walk on water. I challenge all the religious people, you pray right now to say you want to walk on water. You can't do it. Okay? You cannot pray right now and say you'll run faster than a car. You can't do it. So these things, they just do them and cherry pick and say, "Oh, that prayer made me to get this one." If prayer should work now, Liberia will be empty. Everybody will be in the US. All the poor people, nobody wants to be in Liberia. But they have been praying. Some of them, they have died. Their children still praying. All right? Some of them still praying. Okay, so prayer is not the solution. Prayer is nothing again but talking to yourself, or a group of people talking to themselves. All right? Program's coming right back there. Don't wait for me, okay? All right? So that's what prayer is. It's nothing but talking to yourself. All right? So that's, I can go on all things that prayer cannot do. Prayer cannot make Liberia, for example, the world superpower. You can pray all day as you want. It will not make Liberia to be the superpower. If you can pray all day to your God, will not make Liberia the best country with best doctors. Okay? You can pray all day, it will not make Liberia to get the best roads in the country. All right? You can pray all day, it will not make Liberia to get the best electrical power grid in West Africa. Okay, so prayer cannot put food on the table for you. All right, so prayer does not work. Prayer is nothing but talking to yourself when you are praying alone, or a group of people talking to themselves. That's what prayer is. And so I'm not here to shadow people's beliefs and stuff like that, but I think these things, they have been around for much too long. And people do them, they get all these prayer teams here. And maybe my mom, she got a prayer teams. Hey, mommy, go ahead and do it. But the fact of the matter is not, these things don't work. Yes, don't work. This thing don't work. Prayer is just nothing but talking to yourself. Now, that look at the attributes, right? That's attributes. So let me deal with prayer a little bit. So now, out of prayer it doesn't work for sure. That's a fact. I just established. I'll give you a bunch of examples or things that prayer doesn't address. Okay. So now, maybe it could be that the reason the prayer is not working, it could be that the agent that the Christian pray to doesn't exist. Maybe that's why it's not working. All right. Or maybe that agent exists, or that God they pray to exists, but it doesn't care for prayer. It could be that anytime you pray to this God, he gets angry because he doesn't like prayer, and that's why that's why prayer doesn't work. It could be one reason why prayer doesn't work. It could be that the God that the people pray to has hearing impairment. It doesn't hear. So when you pray, it doesn't hear you. So you're just wasting your time. That's another possibility why the prayers are not being answered. The man is deaf, he's deaf and dumb. He doesn't hear. All right. So you can pray to a deaf man all day, no result. So it could be a possibility. It could also be that the reason the Christian prayers are not being answered because the God is mean. He's a mean man. If he asks a mean man, he doesn't care. Be like, I don't get time. I'm not doing it. All right. So there are a lot of possibilities. It could be that the God that the Christian pray to is a psychopath. A psychopath doesn't care about you. And so you can pray all day and see that you answer your prayer. So there could be a lot of philosophical possibility why the deity that the Christian pray to doesn't work or doesn't answer the prayer. Okay. Again, it could be that the God doesn't hear, he's deaf and dumb, he can't hear. It could be that he doesn't exist. It could be that anytime you pray, a prayer makes him or her angry. So every time you pray, he gets angry, he gets mad. He doesn't just care for prayer. He doesn't care. Maybe that's why a lot of things they are not working for the Christian. But prayer is not the solution. Okay. Now let's look at. Sorry that I have President we have picture over there because I was talking about him for a little bit. So what I'm gonna do here, let me just take the picture down. And I want to talk about the attributes of the Christian God and see what are they logically they make sense. Okay, let's do that. Let's see what are they logically they'll cohere. So let me take President Weir's picture down, and I will leave VOSD. All right. So now let's deal with the attributes of the Christian God. All right. So first of all, what are the attributes, of the Christian God? Those are, when you say attributes, those are things that you say something is made up. Without those things, that thing cannot exist or it cannot be. All right. So we just dealt with the issue of prayer, right? We told you that prayer is nothing but talking to yourself or a group of people talking to themselves. Prayer doesn't work. Okay. If prayer works, amputated people, you should pray for amputated men to get new legs. The last time, if you have time, just do a research and put animals that grow new legs when you cut their legs. You can see it. Just Google it, you see. But human being, your hand will cut. You pray to your God. They say that God is all powerful. But you pray all day, and again, John, I will continue to repeat John 14:13. If you pray to me and you ask for anything, I will do it. But you pray for amputated men. Those that were amputated during the war in Liberia, they have been praying. They don't grow new legs. Those that are disabled, they have been praying. Nothing has happened. So prayer doesn't work. Okay. Now, let's look at the attributes that I want to talk about here today. There are a lot of attributes about the Christian God, but let's look at a couple of them here. Let's look at, for example, one is called Omni. So the God, maybe in philosophy we call it the Omni God. The Omni God. The word Omni means all. Omni, almost like PAN, pan. Okay, so you get Pan-Africanism, Pan-Africanism. So Omni, OMNI. Okay, so Omni God. So is it omni benevolent? Okay, so when you say that's one of the attributes for the Christian God, omni benevolent. It's a fancy word for God is perfectly loving. He loves everybody. He loves everybody perfectly. He's a love. Nobody is loving more than God. So omnibenevolent. Okay. So he's perfect. He's a perfect man when it comes to law. He loves everybody perfectly. That's one attribute. The one attribute that is fixed to God is called omnipotent. Okay, omnipotent. That means he is all powerful. Okay, God is all powerful. He's powerful in what sense? We're going to go into it shortly. In what sense is he powerful? All right. And then another one They talk about the divine impeccability of God. So the divine impeccability is a fancy way of saying God is flawless. The man is impeccable. He's flawless. Okay, those are some of the attributes they got for God. Another one they got is omniscient. Okay, omniscient. He knows everything. All right, God knows everything. That's another attribute. Another attribute they got for the Christian God is omnipresent. Okay, omnipresent. So he's everywhere. Another word you can use for that is ubiquitous. He's all over the place. He's everywhere. All right, omnipresent. Then on another word, another attribute developed for the Christian God is called the immutability of God. He is immutable. He does not change. He's always the same. Okay, that's another attribute. The Christian God is immutable. All right, and then another one that God they have here is another attribute that we study in philosophy is called God is indefatigable. Indefatigable or indefatigable, other people will say. All right, indefatigable, indefatigable. Liberal male say indefatigable, indefatigable. Okay, so that means he doesn't get tired. Okay, the Christian God, he's almighty. He can't get tired. He's indefatigable. All right. Now we'll deal with another argument that the Christian makes sometimes. Religious people make to defend their God, which is called the free will argument. Okay, that's another argument that the Christian use to back all the flaw. When there is a flaw on the part of their God, they use the free will argument to make their case. All right, so now let's deal with some of the attributes that I just named. So you have a God that is omnibenevolent. That means he's the only when it comes to loving. Perfection. He's the one. He loves everybody perfectly. All right, on the same level. He doesn't discriminate when it comes to love. Okay, he's a loving being, all loving. Omnibenevolent is all loving. Okay, and then omnipotent. Okay, he's all powerful. He has all the might. Nobody is powerful when they go use the nuclear weapon. America doesn't come close to God. Okay, and omnipotent. He's omnipresent, okay? Omnipresent. Another attribute I didn't call was omnitemporal, okay? So God is in all time, okay? Omnitemporal. So he's in the past, he's in the present, and he's in the future, okay? That's another attribute that we learn about him. But I want to look at the omnipresent, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, okay? And omniscient. Let's look at those three things. Okay, let's look at omnipotent, for example. That is God is all powerful. If God is all powerful, the first question, one of the philosophical questions we can ask is what we call the paradox of the rock. The paradox of the rock. So the paradox of the rock is a question in this form. If you say God is all powerful, can God create a stone or a rock so heavy that he cannot lift it? It's a paradox of the paradox of the stone in the form. Can God create a stone, or no, not stone, but rock, so heavy that he cannot lift it? If the answer to that question is yes, he can create a stone or a rock so heavy that he cannot lift it, then he is not omnipotent. Then he is not all powerful. That there's something that he cannot do. All right. If he can create a rock so heavy that he cannot lift it up himself, then he is limited. But if God cannot do that also, if he cannot create a rock that he cannot lift, then he is also not all powerful. And so that what we call the paradox of the rock or the stone. Okay. So that's a paradox. It's a paradox, right? Because if you are all powerful, you should be able to do anything. So you should be able to create a rock so heavy that you cannot lift it. But if you cannot do that, if you cannot create a rod that you cannot lift, then you are not all powerful. If you create a rod that you will lift, hey, then you're all powerful. But if you cannot do it, create a rod that you cannot lift yourself, then you are not all powerful. So it's the paradox of the rock that philosopher so those attributes they are not coherent. You cannot put them in a bundle. All right. Then you got the omnibenevolent. Okay. The other component of it is that God loves, God is all loving. But if you look around the world, you're seeing people are dying for hunger. All right. People are dying for hunger. Children are dying. I mean, as we speak right now, for hunger. Some people are dying from drinking unclean water. Okay. But then they have a God that says he's all loving. If this God is all loving, why is he watching children dying from starvation, dying from drinking unclean water, dying during war, and all these things, poverty, killing all these young, old and young. But it said the Christians say that God is all loving. So these things, you cannot have an all-loving man for this thing to go on. If you have an all-loving God, and Hitler is slaughtering 6 million of your people, and you are not doing anything, then either A, God is not all-loving, or he is not omnipotent. Because if you're omnipotent, you should be able to stop Hitler from murdering 6 million of your people. You see? So this attribute they put together, people say, oh, it's a free will. The people have a free will. So if somebody has free will, God cannot intervene. He cannot help your people. 6 million of your children, they're crying to you, they're praying to you. And he said, when you pray to me, anything I will do it. And there are 6 million of your children, they are crying to you. And you are all powerful. You know everything. Because so God knew that 6 million of those people would have been butchered by Hitler. He knew all of it because he knows, according to one of the attributes, he knows everything. He's omniscient. He's omnitemporal also, so he's in time. So he knows what will happen in the present, in the past, and in the future. So he knows all the things that would have happened to the Jews and to the people that were killed in Liberia as well. The Charles Sittle killed. I mean, and Prince Johnson and other guys killed. Hey, God is all powerful, and these people were praying. Liberia is a Christian, so-called Christian nation, but they were being butchered, and that God was doing nothing. But even though that God is all powerful, he's all loving. Okay, and I mean, so he knows everything. But his children were suffering for 14 years. They were being murdered. They were living in the butchers like animals, but God doesn't care. So these attributes, they are not in the Bible though, but those are attributes that philosophers created to defend the Christian God. And these things are just philosophical. They are not real. All right. That's why you see those countries that believe in God more, they're suffering. And those countries that are not into God business, they are doing well because the people using their head, because they have the mind for a reason, not to depend on imaginary things to come to your aid. Christian will have all these things. Have those who help themselves. Don't leave that. I agree with the first part. Help yourself, then you will see result. But if you say you want to depend on heaven will not help you. Heaven does not even exist. I say heaven help those. So there's a way to defend their God. Their God is impotent. He has no power. He does not exist. Things that do not exist cannot help you, and that's why no result is being seen from the Christian. They will talk whole day about God, and no result is coming up. Okay, so they say that God doesn't get tired. He's indefatigable. Indefatigable. Other people will say, but then if you look in the book of Genesis, God rested. After working for 6 days, he rested on the 7th day. Why is he resting? He doesn't get tired, but he was resting. It's so you can see all these contradictions from the Christian Bible. He is immutable, but God will change. He doesn't change, but he go other area. He changed. All right, he changed in the book of Genesis after drowning everything. The flood of Noah, for example, he drowned everything to death, and then say, Noah, I feel sorry. Next time, I will not drown people. This time around, the next thing I will bring fire. You see, so but that's a all-loving God. So these things, they are not even the free will argument. Oh, you have free will, that all these things. No, free will, that even in the Bible. All right, these are philosophical arguments that people make, and free will doesn't go far enough. I agree, there are certain actions, there are certain harms that human beings cause. All right, but there are certain things that are not human beings are not liable for them. For example, human beings don't cause hurricane. It's not human being that created hurricane or the tsunamis, the earthquake. It's not human being caused. There are certain things that just happen in that nature. Who is responsible for whose free will responsible for those things? There will be mudslide and stuff like that and those things and it kill people. Is that human being caused? No. Tornado come right now and strike people. Is that human being that created a tornado? Is that, I mean, the rain will come and start washing things away. Is that human being that caused those things? So the free will argument does not go far enough. It just limited argument. It doesn't, I mean, you can only restrict it to human action, but there are certain actions humans are not responsible for. And so it cannot attribute those things to human being. So free will argument is a weak argument. It doesn't go far enough. It doesn't go far enough. Yes. All right. So those are the free will argument. I'm not going to detail into that. I just give you just a snippet of it. Yeah. So that's the Christian God they pray to every Sunday. And Liberian people, they are not listening now. When the people say don't congregate in the street, they're still doing it. Yes, but when they're sick, they don't go to the omniscient God. They don't go to the omnipotent God. They don't go to the omnipresent God. They don't go all the omni God. They don't go to him. They go to doctor. They're crying to the government for not creating jobs for them. So, but what your God would do too? In your job, you're sitting down, you're praying to him, he's not getting you any result. And you want to blame the government? What is your God doing that you just praying to him every Sunday? You pay offering to pastor. What is he doing? So that's just a little bit that I wanted to talk about today. And next time we'll have to go into more of the philosophical argument to help our people. Yeah, we'll look at these philosophies, philosophical argument, because the Bible, you cannot use the Bible to prove the existence of God. It's a weak book, the Bible is the most vicious book ever written in the history of mankind or humanity, if you want to put it that way. That's the kind of book that other people worship. If the history, let me make a point here too before I let you go. They talk about Jesus came. In the Old Testament, God was angry, so Jesus came to make amendment to what God did in the Old Testament. And the same people they will tell us it's a Trinity. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, they are one. And so if we go by that argument, that means whatever went on in the Old Testament, Jesus participated, the Holy Spirit participated, because they are three into one. And so after the three of them, because if you read John 1:1, it says in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was of God. So they mean that it was Jesus. So if Jesus was in the beginning with God, with the Holy Spirit, the three of them together, that means the atrocity committed in the Old Testament, the three of them did that. They are all one, three into one. Okay, when we go by the biblical argument, the Trinity argument, even though the Trinity is not in the Bible, it's not. It was a little argument that was, I think, was one of the church fathers. His name slipped my mind right now. He coined that word Trinity because he is an apologist. So the guys, they were trying to make an argument for their God, So the Trinity is not in the Bible, but they make this argument. So when you put these things into one and say later on, after the people committed crimes in the Old Testament, then the Father now sent his son. He sent his son to be murdered. Okay, he sent Jesus to cover the sins of man. Even though the three of them, they killed a bunch of people in the Old Testament already, but they sent Jesus to atone for man's sin. He couldn't do something else. He had to commit infanticide. So God killed his son. He committed murder. But that's a good thing to Christian. You kill your only son. And so now they will use words like begotten son. And what are some of these words the people put? God so loved the word that he's saying, only begotten son. You know what begotten? The word begotten is the old term for birth, So it applies to human beings. God cannot give birth to a child, The They say, oh, it's a divine birth. Some of these stories they've been around a long time before the story of Jesus. I mean, oh, Mary got pregnant, the Holy Spirit pregnant. Holy Spirit cannot pregnant woman. Now in our age, a woman can get pregnant two ways: out of intercourse with a male, or they do artificial insemination. Other than that, a woman cannot get pregnant. God can make somebody pregnant. Okay, you have to do what you're supposed to do. Either the woman has sex, or out of by consent, or forcefully, or by artificial insemination. Those are the way that a woman can get pregnant. But the Bible will put these absurdity around. People will believe those things and say, "Oh, a virgin got pregnant." A virgin cannot get pregnant. The word virgin, by definition, means that you don't have sex, and that's what it means. That what virgin is. Unless the only possibility is that during those days, the priests, they are very powerful people. So the priest, one of those priests, had sex with that or Mary, and they don't want the priest to be embarrassed. And Joseph was a poor man. He can do anything to manipulate a poor man. So they say, oh, it's the Holy Spirit that pregnant Mary. Even though the Bible, if you really read it, if you look at the history of the word virgin as it was used, it's not virgin as somebody who is virgin. It's a girl, a girl. The word virgin, if you go to the root as it was used from where related to the issue of Mary or pregnancy, it's just a girl. A girl can be what age, they don't tell what age she was, so a girl can be an adult, okay? But these people, they rationalize, they just to fool people, people that can't think for themselves. They say, oh, God pregnant somebody, but God did not have an affair with Mary. And so Jesus is basically a demigod. You can see all these stories, Achilles, for example. So a demigod is the child of a human being and a god, okay? So you see all these stories around. So if you look at the story of Achilles, for example, Achilles' parents, one is human being and the other one is God, so you got that why Achilles was so powerful. You can read all these different legends, all these mythology, you read about different gods that are born to both God and human beings. So these are stories, So Jesus is one of those demigods. He said, the Christian will say he had a child, God and Mary, so it's a demigod. All right. And so if a child is born without a wedlock, okay, that's a bastard. So Jesus also is a bastard, okay, because God wasn't married to Mary, and they say God impregnated Mary. So that means Jesus is a bastard, a demigod, okay. So all these various things, if you go into it, it's a lot we can say about these things, it's a lot. All right. And so people shouldn't believe these stories, and they're defying their government. They take the Bible literally. Jesus was made God. Like you say, if you read, different philosophy. So if you read the adoptionist philosophy, for example, and so if you read the New Testament, it will talk about where Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist, and then the dove came. And there was a voice came and say, "Today I have begotten you," stuff like that. I can't quote it. So in the adoptionist philosophy, and when Jesus was being baptized, that's when God adopted him as his son. That's an adoption argument there. If you read what you call Christology, so it's a study of Jesus basically. So the Christology. So one of the ways. The adoption philosophy. So Jesus was adopted at the point when you were doing baptism, and so in that sense, he's the son of God. God adopted. He's an adopted son of God. All right, that's another way you can look at it. Okay, and people can also become God by, people that are extraordinarily beautiful. So back in the old age, when somebody is too overly handsome or pretty, you might have some divine power to look like that, so you can also consider you God. So Jesus, there was another argument, if you have read about the Council of Nicaea in 325, 325 AD. All right, so Constantine, there was an argument in the church You got the priest Arius, and you got another one, Alexandra and Athanasius. You know, those two priests, they're on the other side. They were arguing about the substance of God, the divinity. I mean, this what is Jesus actually made of? You know, so they have the group. Priest Arius was an African. Arius from Egypt. You know, he's a black man. And then they got Athanasius and Alexander. They had another argument on the other side, who they were also defending. They're all Christian, but they were making this argument. Arius was saying that Jesus is not made up of the same substance as God is. So they were talking about the ontology of Jesus. So the being of Jesus, is Jesus, did Jesus share, or does he share the same being with God? Or he is subordinate, he is subordinate to God. So Arius' argument was God, Jesus is not made of the same substance as God. All right, he is subordinate to God. And so if you say Jesus is made of the same substance of God, that means you can have a son. You know, it will be the same thing. You can have people made of the same thing. They are on the same level, and you say one person is a son and one person is a father. You know, it will defeat the whole purpose. So Jesus is made out of inferior substance to God. He's not on the same par with God. That was Arius' argument, and Arius had a lot of the followers for his argument. And then Athanasius and Alexander and others, they were on the other side and said, no, Jesus and God, they share the same substance. They are the same. They are one and the same. And so the argument was breaking the church apart. And so what Constantine, to reconcile that, Constantine called an ecclesiastical, another word for it, called it the Synod, you know, SYNOD, Synod. So it's a council, ecclesiastical council. So he called a meeting in 325. Got all the churches all over the bishops all over the world, they've gotten together to address the issue. And that's how they convened. And they had a debate. And Arius, and they put it to a vote, as a matter of fact. It was based on a vote that Jesus and God, that's when they wrote the Nicene Creed, or the Nicene Creed, okay? So if you hear the Catholic people, they're reading the Nicene Creed, the Nicene Creed is from the Council of Nicaea. And so they say, because they have been arguing with Arius forever. You know, they have been having the argument. So after they put it to a vote, that's when they wrote that. So if you read it, the guys were actually arguing. They were showing the angle in it. Jesus is God of God, made of God and God. So they were actually talking to Arius and his group. Whether you like it or not, Jesus and God, they are the same people. You know, it was by vote. All right. So people have to read these things. They got to read these things. They don't read these things, but they just go and just talk and go in church and the pastors. Some of them, they know these things. Some of these pastors know them. But they will not tell the people the truth. When you tell the people the truth, they will leave the church. The man got to get his offering. He has to, especially when you're in the West, you got to pay your bill. If you're back home, you got to look good. You know, so they will not tell you the truth. If you go to a theological seminary, they learn all these things, but they will not tell the people. And so that's what religion does. You know, they fool the people. Let me see what my man Slabby Robert said. You claim there is no God, but you can't tell us where the earth came from. Slabby, I think that's the misinterpretation of my position. My position, I'm not. Let me make it clear to you. I consider myself agnostic atheist. Agnostic atheist. Okay, now what is that? Okay, agnostic is the person who doesn't claim knowledge about the existing and the not existing of God. I don't have evidence to prove those things. So now, if you talk about God, but the God that I don't believe in is the one in the Bible, the one in the Quran, the one in the Gita, and all those different religious texts. I don't believe the gods in the Bible. So you can call me atheist in that sense, okay? Do I believe the God in the Bible? No. I cannot believe a God that killed more people than Satan, all right? I don't believe that God, all right? So I don't believe, so I'm an atheist. But is there a God outside those pages of the books, of those very books? I do not know. And Slabby Robert doesn't know either. You see? So that's my position. So he called me agnostic atheist. In the Bible, do I believe the God in the Bible? No, I don't. Call me atheist on that. Outside the Bible, do I believe, is there a God outside the Bible? I do not know. And nobody here following me knows that there is a God outside the Bible. All right? Because the God in the Bible is a totally different, angry, tribalistic, and pro-Israel, and certain tribe he follows. That's a guy in the Bible. He's for certain tribal group. All right? He will go and kill the Malachi, and you will give people instruction, they will demolish. That's not a God for everybody. It's a special God for certain tribe. Do I believe that God? No. If you give me, for example, a different God in the Christian, let's say from maybe you can give me a text from Egypt or a text from Africa, maybe it will appeal to me. But you cannot tell me about a Jewish man God, and you want me, and you say that the man created the world. The man gave you his story. All right, and they were very good at propagating their worldview. They did well with that I should give them. The Christian did well by spreading this bad philosophy. Okay, and they took our people beliefs away because they thought that our people, they were polytheists. They believe in multiple gods, but that wasn't the case. The people do not understand African. They are not religious people. They are spiritual people. And so the African spirituality, they don't understand it. So when they see the old man worshiping a rock or a mountain, they will say, oh, the man's a polytheist. No. The Africans, they are pantheists. If you want to put it out, they are pantheists, or if you want, they are monotheists. They don't believe in multiple gods, but they believe in one God who manifests himself in all things. You know, so it's Africans, they are not polytheists, they are monotheists. So they worship the tree because they say God is manifested in that tree. God is manifested in the mountain. And so they pray to that, you know, because God made everything and he's in everything. All right. So people sometimes they misinterpret the African philosophy or the African spirituality. They don't understand that. The Western people are the one that brought religion. You know, so we have our religion in Africa. So voodooism, for example, is our religion. Okay, so religion in Africa. All right. And so they practice, they got their rituals and all of that. If you go in the Bible, it's the same thing. The same way the Africans people, they have the voodoo and they have the ritual, what they do and what they don't do. If you go in the Bible, they got all those various rituals for the Christian, their worldview. You see, so people just take the thing to be literal. They put their own things away and they take foreign philosophy. You know, and that's what we call deification of other people's culture. You deify, you make other people's culture to be God over your culture. You know, you see. So I wish these people, our people that are in the West, are educated like Bishop Eben Tapper. Thanks for following the show. I appreciate you. I wish Bishop will go back to the Afrin, what the Ghana people call Sankofa. Go back to your root. You know. Sankofa, go back to your rule. Let's go back to our rule and educate our people, and colonize our and take wash our brain from the colonial philosophy that they brought to us, and let's be ourselves again. Can we make some modification to our philosophy? Yes, we can modify. We don't have to take it that way the world. And there are other practices. For example, in Liberia, we got the Pora and the Sadi society. All right, I haven't been it, but there are certain things people say they do. For example, female genital mutilation, it should be abolished in our religious party or whatever activity society they are in. It is harmful to people, and so it should be improved. So there are some African practices. You will tell me, like the culture, for example, our nice African attire. I would tell anybody to wear it any day. Okay, that's something I support. So, but the people, they will come and tell you, your God is you are even though the Christianity is a polytheistic religion, but they make it to be monotheistic. It's not monotheistic. If you even read your Bible, the God will say, he will say, let us make man in our image. God was talking in the plural, let us. So it is not one God I was talking. So Christianity is a polytheistic religion, so maybe you can call it a pantheistic. So you have a group of gods and one at the top who is the supreme. and that's what Christianity is. It's polytheistic or pantheistic religion. Okay, and so you have God saying, "Let us make man." So God was talking to those subordinate gods, So it's a polytheistic religion. But people say, "Oh, monotheistic." They will say, "Oh, they will create." And Trinity was created later by one of the church fathers whose name I can't bring up right now, But that's one of the guys created the Trinity to defend the monotheistic or nature of Christianity. But Christianity is not monotheistic; it's polytheistic. Yes. So they created the Trinity, the Father, the Son. They are one, and which doesn't hold. If you even go back and study various philosophy, if you study, for example, modalism. Because those philosophy predated Christianity and the Trinity and all those things that the people were talking about. So the modalism says that we come in various modes, we come in various modes. So for example, Sleby Rawa can be a son, he can be a father, and he can be a brother. So we come, one person is coming in different modes. Sleby Rawa is a father, is a son, because he's a father to his son or his daughter. He's a son to his parent, he's a brother to his brother, and so you can come. So that's modalism. It was over time modalism. Some of these Christians, they took some of that and upgraded and put it in their own form and call it Trinity, three into one. So it's the same thing. So Christianity is not a monotheistic religion; it's a polytheistic religion. Because if you even read. If you go to, because you have to understand the Bible was translated. All right. So if you go to some of the root words that they use, Elohim, for example, if you look at Elohim, the word in Hebrew, if you look at the root word, it's plural. So Elohim is, so in the beginning, so God, the people that wrote the Bible, they don't want to change it later. Say in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. So, but it will be in the beginning, God's created, because Elohim is not singular. It's plural in Hebrew. So if you look at the root words, they are totally, people just misinterpret those things. It's translation. They translate those things and they put it in their own word. So it's Elohim in the beginning. God's created the heaven and earth. It should be God's. And see, that's why when they go down and they say, God starts speaking in the plural and say, "Let us," because it's not singular. All right. So it said, "Let us make man." God was talking in the plural. You're talking to the other gods with him. He wasn't alone. So people, these are the Jewish stories. People, they just take them and run with them. And I think I will have to bring some African literature, and so we can share them with you too. All right. For example, the virgin birth story that they have in the Bible, that predate the Christian. Let's say, if you read the story of Horus or Osiris, for example, it predated because it's in the book of the Egyptian book of the dead. Those stories, they were all there. How Horus, Osiris was killed. He resurrected 3 days. All those things, they are in there. How you have Horus have like 12 disciples. All those things, they were they were far before the Bible, but people don't read the other texts because they want to cherry pick. If you look in the Noah story, for example, in the Bible, and you read another book they call the Epic of Gilgamesh. It's a Babylonian story. If you read that, it was 2,000 years before the Bible. But the same story, the flood story in the book of Genesis, you can see that same story in the Epic of Gilgamesh. It predated the Bible. It was before the Bible, word for word. They got a whole story in there. How many of us have read the Epic of Gilgamesh? So people take the thing literally. They are not literal story, and people take them for granted. They take them, and our own people, they drill those things in our elders' hair. Our young people that support, especially the children are coming up, because you have to understand Christianity or religion, it continues because it catches people young. So the pastors, Christian, they will start carrying their children to church, and they will start to indoctrinate them. So as a result, the children, basically, since they are born with it. So when you challenge these things, then you are blaspheming. So ourselves as African, we are our own problems. Okay, these people, they treated you for years, over 300 years. They used the very Bible to suppress you, and then you fought. They didn't free you, and they say, "Oh, we tired with you." You fought to free yourself. After they free you, then they gave you the symbol and said, "This is the word of God." And then our people are preaching it to our people. You serious? Do you read the legacy of the God that you're talking about, good God in this book? Do you read the legacy of the God? Yes. And then people will start preaching from book of Timothy. Those are Paul's letters. You know, a lot of books in the Old Testament, they are Paul's letters. So a lot of people that are preaching Timothy, and then they are Paulinians. You know, they are Paul philosophy division, Paul letters. How can you put Paul letter in the Bible and say that God was? It's somebody's letter that he wrote to people, and then later on they canonize it and put it in the Bible as God word. Paul, and you get a man whole history how he was a persecutor of the Christian. I mean, the man was very vicious, but Paul wrote letters, and they are part of the Bible right now. About 13 or plus more of those letters, they are in there. You see, and people believe these things. Let me see what Slebby Robert is saying. Let me see what you got to say, brother. I'd like to read your views. He said, yeah. Slebby Robert said, let me read the first sentence here. You trust science and metaphysics, but you can't tell us the exact source of the universe and the origin of human species. How can the earth come from nothing when science itself says something cannot be created from nothing? If X create Y, Y must have come from something that exists in the form of matter. I mean, this is a good argument that you are making, but you see, Slebby, that's what I consider myself agnostic. Do I know the source of some of these things? I do not know. Okay, I don't claim to know this. You guys are the one that claiming to know it. Now, the same argument you are making right now, it applies to your God. If something cannot come from nothing, if that is the argument you are making, if that same argument was the same thing is in the Bible, okay? They call in the book, because you have two creation stories in the book of Genesis, right? The first chapter and the second chapter. So in the first chapter, the God there, he was creating things ex nihilo. Out of nothing, something came, okay? And then in the second story, you are creating things from pre-existing things. So there are two stories in it. So if you go in the first story, the first human beings that were made in the first story in the book of Genesis, they came together simultaneously. God created the two of them at the same time, the first male and female, or the first human beings, okay? And then in the second story, he created the male first, and then the animals, and then the female. Okay, so it's two different stories. But now, so let's make the argument, the ex nihilo argument you are making. So nothing comes from nothing. Okay, something must come from something. That's the argument. So if that is the argument you are making, then it begs the fundamental question too. Let me make it clear again. If something comes from something, and something cannot come from nothing, then the question applies to God. Where does God come from? Something must come from something. If God is something, then he must have come from something. What is that thing? And the thing God came from, where did that thing come from? You have to also explain that. And so the argument of God, because that's a philosophical position to they call the infinite regression. The Christian, they are trying to avoid the infinite regression. Things cannot go on and go on without, because that's the same argument Thomas Aquinas was making. If you read his faraway argument, that's the same argument you are making. Things cannot, something cannot move without a mover. So he called the first thing that moved the other thing the unmoved mover. But that's the argument. Why is it that the standard you are setting? If you say unmoved mover, why that mover cannot move? How did that mover get in the picture? You got to explain to us. So it's a theological argument stopper. So they put God in the picture to avoid infinite regression. But you have to explain to us how God got in the picture. You cannot say he was not manufactured and he came to be, he had no beginning, he had no end. That's a theological platitude. You are not making an argument. You are just giving a bunch of words. So like you are saying a triangle is a three-sided polygon or figure. You are just saying the same thing. Once you say a triangle, we understand that it's a three-sided figure. Okay, so if you say a triangle is a three-sided figure, you are being redundant, and so that's what we call another word for it in philosophy. We call tautology. You are saying the same thing without adding information. So if you say 1 + 1 = 2, it's the same thing you are saying. 2 + 2 or 1 + 1, 2 is 1 + 1. So it's a mathematical tautology also. 1 + 1 = 2. It's just the same thing you are saying. And so you cannot say that I don't know how certain things came to being, and therefore you manufacture another being that you can't explain how that being got in the picture. You got to explain it to us, sir. All right. And so we have to, that's why I love philosophy. Religion does not want you to think, but philosophy will make you to think and say, no, we're not taking anything at face value here. Nothing is off the table. Everything got to be scrutinized. So we are subjecting everything to the same analysis. We cannot apply certain rubrics to certain things and we apply certain standard to certain things. No, everything will be subjected to critical analysis. So if you say nothing comes from nothing, or something cannot come from nothing, if God is something, then he must come from something. What is that thing he came from? And how he came to being, Combrava got to explain to me. Yes. So the argument is on your table. It's not on my table right now. Let's see what next what my comrade is saying. Let me read. Let me see the next thing he's saying. He said here, agnosticism is lens towards what are you trying to say? Neutrality, my brother. How do you then criticize that which you have no proof exists or does not exist? That is contrary to an agnostic view of the existing of I am a child of God. I don't know. The fact that I am agnostic, it doesn't mean that if you have two positions, so there are three positions. So you have the theist and the agnostic, and you got the atheist. Okay, even though there are other positions, we got, for example, deism. Okay, so the deist will say God created the world and he went away. He doesn't care. And so it's a guy who started the machine. He started the car. Once the engine started running, you are on your own. You know, so that's a deistic position. The deist will say. So if you read some of the founding fathers of the U.S., like let's just say Thomas Paine and those guys, they are deists. You know, because they say it doesn't make sense to have a good God supervising the world and you have all these things going on. So the deistic position makes sense. The man set everything in motion and he left, and everything. That's why you see all the bad things are happening and all of that. That's why it explains that. But that position too is problematic. The God, the deistic God, is he a kind God? If you start a machine, let's say you start a machine and you don't teach the people how to drive or how to conduct that machine, and you turn your back on it, what kind of God are you? You might be a diabolical God. You know, so the deistic God too has a problem. Now, so my man said agnosticism it lends towards neutrality. All right. Yeah, you can say that you're right. It's neutral. So a neutral man, if you are neutral or if you are independent, you are the one to question both sides. Okay. So I'm questioning, for example, Comrade Rabba, who categorically says that there is God. He convinced. I'm asking you, where is your evidence that proves the existence of God? And then the guy who is saying there is no God also, how can you be so sure? Where is your evidence? Now, if you look at both sides of the argument, is there a God that exists? That I mean, if you ask me for my own analysis, the guy who says that there is God could be right, and the God that exists to that God could be a diabolical God. It would be a bad God. Because if a good God exists, all the evil things that are going on in the world will not happen. It's like you have, let me put it this way. It like you have a doctor, right? The job of the doctor is to save lives, And so in the hospital, I mean, every time people go to the hospital, they die. Every time they go to the hospital, they die. Then what is the purpose of the doctor? Okay, it defeats the purpose of the doctor. And so if you say you have a good God, and then people are dying, earthquake are coming and wiping people away, tsunami coming and killing people, thunderstorm coming and wiping people away, but then you say you have a good God. So how is it that you're good and you're seeing all the bad things going on? You have more bad things than good things. Even the earth we live on is not a good place. Human being, we make it good for ourselves. If you go in a forest right now and you say you want to build a house, you got to fight mosquitoes, you got to fight all sort of things in order to survive in that area. All the other animals will they want to come and subsist on you. So it's not human friendly. The earth is not human friendly. So my position is, comrade, I want you to prove the existence of your God using logic. Okay, or if possible, give me evidence. But if you use the Bible for another culture, then it's not compelling to me. You are not making compelling argument. So I have the position right now to scrutinize you because I'm an independent man. I'm in the middle and questioning all of you that are making these definitive claims. Okay, what makes you so sure that there is God? How does the God look like? Define your God to me in concrete language. How does he look like? Is he a tall man? Is he a short man? Is he a white man? Is he a black man? Make it concrete. How your God look? Tell me. You can't do that. You will tell me God is a spirit. But then you are using another mystery to explain another mystery. You are making things complicated. You have to make it simple. Use what we call organ razor. Organ razor is the philosophical position that if you have two things, the simpler position basically is the law of simplicity. You cannot make simple things complicated. And so, slap you, I'll say, what is God? And you say, God is a spirit. Then you are complicating the situation. You are not explaining what you believe in to me. So you are using mystery to explain another mystery. All right, let's see here. So I have the right to question when you say you're a child of God. Then who are you to your parents? Who are your parents? You have two parents? All right. So that's what religion does. Religion would negate the real thing, it will obscure the real thing and go to the invisible man. That's what religion do. Again, religion means to tie somebody's mind to another person's beliefs, So you would take the person's mind from that person's own parents. You say, I'm a child of God. So that basically you neglected your own parents, So it goes on here, my man said, the problem here, God is real. But the white man make a lot of stories that I believe. Right? And when you say, what do you mean by the word real? When you say God is real, what is that? Is the word real being used in another sense? Because the word real when you say something is real, that's what we get the word reality. When something is real, that means you can observe it. It is concrete, something that you can detect with your five senses. So when you say God is real, what is it that you are talking about? Can you measure God? Like in concrete terms or in real terms, in real language? No. So I don't know. So I want you to expand on that. And you say, but the white man make a lot of stories that I believe. Okay, what? So what are the stories that the white man made that you believe? Or the story in the Bible, for example. So then you have to understand too, is the story fictional or non-fictional? You gotta understand there are two types of stories. So if you ask me, there are two platforms. You have the platform of history, and you have the platform of religion or religious literature. So on the platform of religious literature, or if you want to be sure, on the platform of literature, in a religious sense, God exists. Boogeyman exists. Okay, it can go on because these are not non-fiction, they are fictional accounts. Okay, but on the historical page, God does not exist. You cannot measure God historically. Okay, so the existence of God is not a historical question, and that's why you're talking about theology. We're talking about theology or philosophy. So that's the area of religion or philosophy. Okay, so that's when that's because this speculation that what philosophy deals with. Okay, it's not scientific question. The question of God existing is not a scientific question, so you can do it scientifically. Science cannot answer that question because it's not a scientific question. It's a philosophical or a religious question, or if you like, theological question. Okay, because theology is a study of God. All right, so it's a study here. It's not something real. It's a study. We are speculating. Okay, that's philosophy. That's why it keeps philosophy going, because there is no definitive answer to a question. If you give an answer to a question, another person will find problem too. And the thing about philosophy, you can say, "Oh, that person is wrong," and then you don't give argument why that person is wrong, or you don't give alternative explanation to that. That's why philosophy keep going. It keeps going. So once a question is answered definitively, then it becomes a scientific question. All right, there is not a theological, philosophical question anymore. All right. So let's see. So Stubby Robert said, let's say, to answer your question on God coming out of something, it's simple. God of the Bible or universe is not affected by time, space, or matter, which we can call. So, but my man, you are basically not using the same rubric for everything else. You have different rubric for everything. For God, He's beyond time and everything. You see again, these are the arguments that religious people, because once you undermine the argument, they'll bring another thing so that their God will still exist. What do you mean when you say God exists out of time? What is that? What is that? He doesn't exist in time. You got to explain that to me. You can't just put the words. These are religious platitudes, to put this thing around to stop the conversation. All right? To answer your question on God coming out of not something, a simple God of the Bible. And you got to understand the God of the Bible is not the same as the God outside the universe. You ask me, outside the Bible, that's a different God. That's a different God in the Bible. If God is outside the Bible, I do not know, because I don't see the existing evidence of that outside the Bible. The Bible, God, we know that he's a very, very, he's a master, if you like, the God in the Bible. Okay, or if you like, gods, because Jesus is not a kind man in the Bible. All right, Jesus and God, the Father, they committed the atrocity in the Old Testament by virtue of the Father. You guys are saying they are three into one. Okay, so then Jesus participated in the crimes in the Old Testament. You were in the beginning with God, according to you guys. So if you were in the beginning with God, then everything that God did in the beginning, all of them participated in it. Yeah. I mean, in some of these stories, they are so fake. You guys don't follow the details. If you read the floor story, for example, all the dimension of the boat is there, and then they give you the quantity of the water that swallowed the whole world. They say 15 cubic of water swallowed the whole earth. After you serious? You know what 15 cubic is? 22 feet of water. If the measurement, everything in the Bible there, they indicated everything in there. 15 cubic of water, they say, they swallow Mount Everest. I don't know what was the tallest mountain at the time on Earth, but they say 15 cubic of water cover the whole Earth. Are you serious? Okay, then the man said, I'm not a Christian, not Muslim, but believe there is a God. So, Roger, what drove you to that belief? I want to know. How, if you say you believe, because you know what belief is? Belief is the absence of evidence. If you have evidence for something, you will not believe. Or if you like, there are two types of beliefs. You have justified true belief, and you have unjustified belief. So right now you say you believe there is God. So once you say you believe, that means your belief is unjustified. So I want you to justify your belief. Why you believe there is God. And how did you come to the conclusion that this thing you believe in is God? What can we not say is, for example, like the philosopher Descartes would say, evil genius. It could be an evil genius that created the world. We can't negate that possibility. He is evil and he is a genius. And so the evil in the world, it can explain that why you have evil, because the world was created by an evil genius. So an evil man will ultimately create evil things. And so it explains that, you know. Why do you think Boogeyman doesn't exist and your God exists? Is it because Boogeyman doesn't have a book? If somebody wrote a book about Boogeyman and said Boogeyman far, and people start preaching that, I know some Africans will buy it. But Boogeyman doesn't have a book, and nobody believes in Boogeyman. But they believe in the religious Boogeyman they call God, that the religious people created. They don't know this thing, but they say the thing is all loving. But you don't know this thing. When I ask you what this thing is, and you say you don't know what it is, it's a spirit. Once you say it's a spirit, you don't know what that is. And so, but you think, oh, the spirit loves me. Oh, are you serious? And I see a lot of anthropomorphism also with the Christian God. What is anthropomorphism? Anthropomorphism is giving human being qualities to something that is not human being. So they will say, God is all loving. God is all powerful. These are all human characteristics. You know, these are human being character they give to something that is not human. You know, so that's it. That's what religion does. If they have the expression Vox Populi Vox Dei. Vox Populi Vox Dei, it means the voice of the people is the voice of God. All right? People do not understand that expression. Vox Populi Vox Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God. That is pure anthropomorphism. So they say, in other words, Vox Populi Vox Dei, the voice of the people is the voice of God. They don't say the voice of God is the voice of the people. It says the voice of the people. So without man, there will be no God. Man is the one that gives God, or that created God. God did not create man. Man created God. That's why you have all these different gods, depending on the culture you're in. God will get an attribute, the culture you're in. Okay? If you're a Jew, the way your description of God would be the way your civilization sees God. That's how God would be. If you're an African, God will have the attribute of African civilization. You see, so God did not create man. Man created God. So if you read, for example, the philosopher Protagoras said, man is the measure of all things. Okay? Man is the measure of all things. We measure everything. We created these things. There are certain things we didn't create for sure. But all these things that we're talking about, God and demons and Satan and all these different things, these are the product of man. We are the architects of these things. And so people will say, oh, man, God created man. No. God, if once you say God created man, once you say that, then you create a philosophical quandary for yourself. Because once you say God created man, then it begs the question, who created God? Or what created the God that created the other God? You have to answer these questions. And there is nothing wrong with infinite regression. People will say, religious people will say to avoid infinite regression, God is the beginning of everything. But why is that so? How do you reach that conclusion? You got to explain these things. Then he said, Roger said, when I look at sun and the moon, the sea, I know there is a controlled, and that controlled is the supreme leader. Okay. So, but Roger, what you are doing here is you are committing a basic philosophical fallacy called appeal to ignorance. All right. And also, what you are doing here is another argument called is kind of close to the analogical argument. You look at other element, then you are compared to other thing, or you draw a conclusion from something that you based on a lack of information or based on a lack of knowledge on something, and you draw a conclusion. So you say, when I look at the sun, the moon, the sea, I know. You can't say I know. Once you say I know, that means you have evidence for that thing. Knowledge, in the presence of knowledge, you don't believe. Do you believe right now that I am on the internet? No, you know that I'm on the internet because it's something that has been proven that people can do this live, or you yourself, you are doing it. So in the absence of knowledge, I won't even believe these things. So when I look at the sun and the moon, the sea, I know. You don't know, you are guessing. There is a controlled, and that controlled is the supreme leader. Okay, so what you are doing here is you reach in a town. You don't know who the town chief of the town is. Nobody around to ask, to give you that information. So you conclude the town chief of the town is God. It's exactly that's what you are doing. We are put here. We see all the things that you are talking about: the sea, the moon, the sun. We don't know how this thing got here. So we'll conclude somebody put it here. That's a pure to ignorance. You don't know, and you are drawing your conclusion. And that's the same thing Thomas Aquinas was doing. They got the everything that moves must have a mover, and the things that move, that thing is called the unmoved mover, and the unmoved mover is God. So it's an appeal to ignorance. You can't draw a conclusion from not knowing. You have to know in order to draw a conclusion. So the what we call here, this is called it's a I think an argument called non sequitur. Your conclusion does not follow from the premise. Okay, so that's a non sequitur. Let's see here. Yeah, and then you say the supreme leader. Okay. Roger, also, how do you know? How do you give that name? Oh, it's just a name that you made up for a supreme leader. I want to know how you got to that supreme. Oh, because you don't know, so whatever made this thing is a supreme leader. Okay. That's good. So I assume you haven't seen the driver ends, or because someone will grow in the interior, you will see those driver ends, the termites, if you like. They will build the complicated structure, the people will call it Buckle Boy Hill, right? So the termites, they will build a thing. Now you're seeing, you are not seeing a termite before. All right, you are not seeing this little creature building this complicated structure. All right. If they are first time seeing that, you'll say, wow, there must be a God that built this thing. And so if you do not know something, the best position to assume is I don't know, and you do your investigation. But you cannot draw a conclusion before you start doing as a matter of fact, once somebody people draw a conclusion, they don't do investigation anymore because you have convinced yourself. And that's not convincing yourself, it's called self-deception. You are deceiving yourself. So you have to question these things that the philosopher they gave us. We have to question them. Yes. Another argument, because I don't want to go to the very arguments, but another argument they call the teleological argument. Okay, the teleological argument, other people, the contemporary word for that is called the design argument or the intelligent design argument. So the telos of something is a goal-oriented, or the purpose. What is the purpose of something? Okay, so another philosopher that made an argument, something similar that you're making here, or they call William Paley. William Paley, if you find time, just Google his teleological argument. So the teleological argument of William Paley, he said that let you assume you are walking on a beach, or let you see you're walking in a forest, and you saw a watch, You wouldn't look at it. If looking at the watch, looking at the complication, look at how those various parts on it, they are intricately arranged, how they are arranged in order. You cannot look at a watch and say the watch doesn't have a watchmaker. There must be a watchmaker, given the intricacy. And so that's an argument from analogy. That's why you are making there. So he started with a watch. And he said, if you also compare that watch to the human body, for example, you look at the human body, it's complicated. You got the eye, the function of the eye to see stuff. You got the hands to grab stuff. So he made this sort of analogy. And so he said, given that a watchmaker must have a watchmaker, therefore, given the complexity of the earth and the world must have a war maker. So, but that's an argument for analogy, okay? But the analogical argument, the problem with it is that we have to look at the very parts that you are comparing. All right. So if you compare the parts of a watch to the human body or the human eye, for example, are they the same? No, they are not the same. So you cannot compare two things that are radically dissimilar. They are not the same. So the argument falls apart. That's a wrong analogy you are doing. Okay. So the fact that the watchmaker must have a watchmaker. So therefore, there will be a watch. That will be a watch. Yeah, there's a watchmaker. Okay, and so, but another problem with that argument is we have seen a watchmaker. All right, we have seen. So have we seen the war maker? No, we have not seen the war maker. So the argument falls apart. If you want to see a watchmaker, you can go somewhere right now and go and see observing the watchmaker making the watch. Can we go somewhere right now to observe the war maker, the creator of the world, to watch him making things? No. So it cannot make that kind of analogy. The argument is weak. All right. So that's something similar you're saying. My point here is that I don't believe in any religion, but believe that there is a supreme being. So again, also because you look at the moon, you look at the sun, you look at the sea, therefore there is a supreme being. That's what you're saying. All right, you saw the bucket ball hill. You don't know how it got there. You don't know you are not seeing those little driver ants making that thing before. There will be a supreme being that made the bucket ball hill. You see, so that's why you are saying other words. I mean, so I just want us to sit down and come up with a cogent argument, because some of the philosophical arguments that I've been reading, they have a lot of flaws in them. Yeah, they have a lot of flaws in them, and you cannot even use the Bible. The Bible is the weakest. All the religious texts, they are the weakest. So you cannot use them to even make the argument for the existence of God. My man, Slabby Rawa has not done so. Yes, Slabby knows he cannot appeal to the Bible, and so now he getting outside the Bible to make a case for the existence of a deity. All right, but at least Roger is saying he's not a religious man. All right, so but he believes that there is a what makes. But again, he told me because of the moon, the sun. So because you see this thing, you don't know how they got there. Therefore, all right, God exists. All right, that's a non sequitur. Yeah, your conclusion does not follow for the premises. It's a bad argument. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's a little bit. Yes, from Putu. all right, I like this. Yes, from Putu. Well, which one for you're going from Putu? Which one for Putu? All right, man, ladies and gentlemen, that's a low I'll come back. Maybe our next section we'll do a better philosophical discussion. We'll look at the very arguments that the religious people they use. We'll go in depth into the the rational. I think St. Amson ontological argument is a philosophical and logical argument he made for the existence of God. We'll look at those arguments. We'll look at Thomas Aquinas' argument and some of those things that the religious people appeal to. Slabby Roberts said, I want you to tell me what drives your rationality to the existence of God. If that in itself is irrelevant or supposed to be irrelevant, I want you to tell me what drives your rationality to the existence of God. Well, you want to know? Well, you see, what we call an open-minded thinker does not restrict his thinking to one thing. If you mean, because you see, that's why religion does not appeal to me, because religion will take one thing and just run with it, whether you have contrary evidence or not. And that's why I like science. Scientists will come up with something right now. And what they do, they don't just take one person's words. They have something they call peer review. those people will make sure and rigorously analyze and criticize and make it find way to even yourself that created that theory. Another thing that scientists do is to find way to disprove whatever you come up with. And that's why I like science. You have to fight to disprove your own thing. You don't just take one side of it. Religion doesn't do that. When they bring it, the pastor brings it to you, don't question it. Once you question it, then you are a doubter. They don't like that. Doubting in religion is a threat. Once you are doubting, that means you are thinking. And then they don't like it. So now they will say, doubting Thomas was a critical thinker in the Bible, or a follower of Jesus, whether he exists is another thing. But Thomas is a character. I like that character in the Bible because he was thinking. The guy was an evidentialist. Jesus came and said, I died in the let me test your hand, let me make you good. You know what I'm saying? It could be an illusion. So the guy was a critical thinker. And that's what we're supposed to do. Somebody can say, I just resurrected, and then you believe in. Okay? All right, so you say, so what drove me into the existing of God? You cannot dismiss the possibility of that. Okay? There is a possibility of a good God, but I don't see it in the world right now. So there's a strong possibility of a bad God. That's what explains all the bad things that are going on. If the God is evil, then it makes sense why all these evil things are going on. I doubt it to the point where I don't believe, as a matter of fact, that a good God exists. Again, the reason I don't believe that is because if a good God exists, all right, then all these bad things will not be going on. A good man will not look at bad things to happen. The job of a good man is to stop bad things from happening, especially a good man who is all powerful, who is all loving, okay, who is omniscient, who knows everything. So I don't believe that God exists, who is all loving, but children are dying from malaria, they are dying from let's say diseases from drinking unclean water, they are dying from lack of food, all those different things are going on. But they say, who God exists? Is there a possibility that a bad God exists? Yes, that's a possibility I can believe. But should I worship that bad God? No, I'm not going to worship a bad God. And the God in the Bible falls in that category. He's a very terrible God in the Bible. The man would just, a priest will pray to him and say, the children will say, bald hair. Then the priest will get angry and pray to God and say, the children laugh at me, and then God will send she-bear and kill for the two children. Because for the people just saying bald hair. So these things, I can't follow, I can't pray to such a God. That's a vicious, diabolical, evil, and callous God in the Bible. And people will use Old Testament to exonerate the New Testament, but the same God in the Old Testament is the same God that in the New Testament. And Jesus will tell you something like, I did not come to change the law, I here to implement it. So Jesus is clear telling you that the God in the Old Testament, all the atrocities he committed, I supported those things. And that's what Jesus is telling you. I did not come to change. And Jesus, if you look at Luke 14:26, for example, he will tell you something that before you be my disciple, you must deny your parents, you must deny your children, you must even deny yourself. So this is not a good man. He will tell you, I did not bring peace, I came to bring sword to the world. These are Jesus saying. Is that a good man saying these things? No. The man saying coming to cause conflict because he will break family apart. If you are with your family, you have to follow him. Once you leave your family, of course, it will cause problem. So Jesus recognized these things and said, yeah, I'm here to break family apart. These are things that the guy said. But they will look at it, the religious people will rationalize on those things. Pastor James Callahan, they will not tell people the truth. They will say, this book, the God in the Bible is for the Jewish people. It's not for the Sapo people. This is not the Sapo God. The God of Temye. The God of the Kawade people. The God of the Putu people is different from the God in the Bible. But then because the Western, the colonial group, the colonial philosophy has brainwashed our people. So they will take their own thing and put in the Quran is not important. The book that the people brought to them is important more than their own thing. Are you serious? You actually went to school for 4+ years for you to be still cajoled by another man? You serious? And so I wish one day our people they will graduate from the programming they are in. Our people are being programmed by these religious people, all right, by these various texts, and they don't want to see the program. We'll make sure to explore this program. Sleepy Rabbit say, let me finish your chairman. What are you philosophers and geniuses of metaphysical science spending your entire lives trying to disprove God's existence? Then why are we trying? Because you see, the reason we are trying because we don't know it, or we don't claim that we know everything. And so, in order to do something, you got to try. You cannot be sitting down and get something done. So, something that you do not know, you got to try at it. You got to start working. If you don't know how to drive, for example, what do? You got to find somebody. The first thing, they got all these steps. You got to go take the permit test to get a permit from the state. After, you have to have somebody who has a driver license to teach you how to drive the vehicle. You don't do it the same. You don't learn it or start doing it the same day, and then you get a driver license. That's something you have to practice. So, if you do not know something, you have to work at it. You don't sit down and just draw a conclusion and say, God did it, and that's it. That's a way of people that don't want to think. That's a way of saying, do not think. You are stopping yourself from thinking. And the telos of the knife, again, is also, we can debate that too. Because somebody said the telos of a knife is to cut things, to chop things up. Okay? But somebody will use what a knife made to kill people. Somebody will change the telos of the knife to use a weapon to kill people. So these things, they have, different interpretations. So, but let's just go with that. The telos of the knife is to cut things. Similarly, the telos of the mind is to think. And not just to think superficially, but is to think profoundly. Think critically. Consider, I'm not saying be unreasonable, but think about things that especially other culture gave you. Why would another civilization bring a book to you and you just accept it without critical analysis to see what are the things the person put in the book, what are they actually convincing to you? All right, and so yeah, that's let's start for tonight. We will I think I will have to do more philosophical sections moving forward, so that because all we are seeing here, all the religions, they are different philosophies. People don't know. There's that God did not write any one word in the Bible. Those are people philosophies. They want, because it's a competition of ideas, somebody trying to control another man. So they put their ideas together and they have disciples to push the ideas. And other people, they proselytize the Christian people, they call them Christian. Over 2 billion people been convinced by another man philosophy. Then you got 1 more billion people following the Christian and the Islam on the other side. It's all about who can proselytize, who have people. If you have media, you have the resources, you have the cash, you can recruit. Let's take, for example, the Mormon church, the Church of the Latter-day Saints. They carry a lot of people because the guys get money. So they start carrying people and they start to indoctrinate people. That's it. So once you have the cash, you can do a lot of things. Okay? So the religion, the Christianity, our people back home, they have to start thinking and start defying authority and still going and saying they're praying to Jesus. Jesus is a dead man, long gone, buried. And you depend on Jesus to survive? You think Jesus will come to your aid to get rid of coronavirus? And you believe that thing? I know I put in some nerves, I'm making some people piss off tonight, like some that demon in the other one. That's what they say. Once you challenge what they believe, then you're demon possessed. And that's a way, again, it's a program. The people program or people do not think for yourself. We got to teach you how to think. All right. Once you're not thinking like us, you are not thinking. You are not a good thinker. And so, but Voice of Sano, the host is not there to be programmed by other people. Yes. A lot of us in Liberia. How many of us got a different text, like the view from the Anaxter, for example, or the view from the atheists? This thing got to be taught in school too, but they will take you, either you study the Quran, depending on the school you go to, or you study Christianity. These are not the only 2 books. Let's teach the people the other books. They have the philosophy of the atheists and see what the argument they're making. Let's analyze the argument. They analyze the argument of the agnostics. What are they saying? They take the argument of the religious group, okay, and see, let's put everything together. Let's give it to them, the children, give it to the students objectively. Let it not be of that faith and you preach it for that faith position. You're Christian, so you go in the Bible and cherry pick. Let a lecture on those books from a philosophical perspective. If you say, for example, in the beginning, God created the heaven and earth, then analyze that statement. What does that mean? Does he have hands? Okay, he just spoke things into being. Is that possible? For somebody, you just speak things into being. Where are those things coming from? Those questions got to be answered. You can't just dodge that and say, oh, yeah, God speaking to being is joking. No, that's the definition of gullibility. That means you can be cajole, you can be fooled anytime by anybody. All right? Yes, so my brother Ben telling people black people have their own religion and God. Because of that, I was put out Bible class in Morocco. Oh, so they put you out of the Bible class because you said that. You gotta keep saying that. Yeah, that's what makes you a leader. You know, a leader is somebody who breaks the status quo. So now you got to challenge the status quo and get out. Because if you stay in the status quo, nothing will change. So a leader also is somebody who does not conform to the reality of the day. You have to create different reality for people. So I like the fact that you are doing that, Rogers. That's straight. That's great. You got to say it to our people. If you want us to share resources, I will share my email address with you when I get on, so we can share some literature to our people. Let's do that. We gotta do it. We cannot be fooled. You see, Abraham Lincoln said, you can fool some of the people some of the time. You can even fool some of the people all of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. No. And so now the reality is kicking in now. Some of all we are waking up. We are waking up. For too long, we are being controlled by other civilizations. You know, other people telling us how to think. You serious? You got your independent mind. And somebody say, snake talking to a woman in the galley, and you believe it. Snake fool woman. And you believe that he's carrying it around, and the women themselves, they're running. Oh, yeah, snake fool me. Snake told me to eat apple. You serious? You got to stop this, okay? And so let's start thinking for ourselves, African people, and start defying the government, especially in Liberia. Our Sierra Leonean brothers, I want to sisters, I want to say congratulations. Thanks for listening to your leadership, for following through during the 3 days of quarantine or let's just say shutdown. But the Liberian people, they disappointed me. They believe in Jesus. Jesus is not doing anything for them, but they are fighting police officer. Oh, we pray to Jesus. Jesus not doing anything for you, fighting to come to the one-man war, and you say you believe in Jesus. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that's how we're doing it for the day. Thanks a lot for following the voice of Sano. We're going to talk to you again this week. We're coming out with another show.
I want you to bring me children, children. I want you to bring me children. I will marry you. I will marry you, my baby. I will do what you say. I want to be King Gucci, Tamina, Destiny, Fabina. I will do what you say. I will do what you say. I will do what you want, my baby. I will do what you say. I will do what you want, my baby. Because you from La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. Because you from La Montana, sexy like rose, sweet like banana, always on my mind. From the day I met you, baby, Marco, you drive me crazy, You the one I want to be with. Oh yeah, you the one I want to spend my life with. Sexy body, sexy, bluffing but she can bluff. Baby, I want you, want you. Baby, I need you. See the thing when you do it to me, girl. See the thing when you do it to me, baby. You do
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the voice of Sano. Thanks for following his man. I appreciate all of you. Let me be fair to you. Let me maybe I can read the names of people here. Lucy, what's up? Thanks for following me. Rogers, thanks for following the show. T. Rockets, youth leader, Sana, thanks for following the show. Kelly, what's up? Mackenzie, thanks for following the show. Mr. Vice President, Slim Roberts, thanks for your comment. Thanks for following. James Collins, thanks for following as well. Patrick Family, what's up? Thanks for following the show. Sideways, Joe Wood, Navy, hopefully I caught that name right. Maxine Goa, what's up? Thanks for following the show. Patience, Rhea Roberts, thanks for following the show.
I want you to hold me children. I want you to hold me children. I will marry you.
Alright, today I stay safe from the COVID-19 virus, okay? Do follow the instructions of the health authorities. Alright, have a wonderful day. This is the voice of Pennsylvania and United States of America.